Hello, welcome to the HomeBhoys Live podcast. It is Friday the 5th of December. I'm, of course, Joe McKenna. We are back, and we are here to push our Christmas appeal. We are here to talk about Celtic. We've got a lot of stuff on the agenda, and I am joined by a man who is now a vocal performer on an incredible video at the Celtic Collective, Scott McCorry. What's happening?
Hey, Joe, go fuck yourself.
Exactly. And fuck Kelly Miller as well. Haven't seen him around much, have you?
Fuck it. Somebody told me he was joining the Celtic backroom team. I was ready for fucking smash my telly
up. And of course, joined by Jason Higgins out there on my show. What's happening, brother?
Good, mate. How are you?
Oh, good. No Marty Flynn tonight. He is watching Late Toy Show. No Liam Power. He is still out with a season-long hamstring injury, so he'll be back at some point, I suppose, before Easter, if we're well, going by Jesus calendar. So we're going to start off this week pushing the Christmas appeal, but how we're going to do this is a wee bit different, right? So it's fair to say when we start off this Christmas appeal every year, we have nothing to offer anybody in terms of praises. See if nobody came forward with a praise, right? You'd probably be getting. Let me have a look here. I have a signed Victor Wanyama scarf behind me, right? You're probably getting that. That'd be first praise, right? The can coat be second praise, right? And then something Marty has in his fucking man cave would probably be third praise. So people come to us for praises, and we raffle them off for the Christmas appeal. And so far, the Christmas appeal is just shy of $3,000, which is amazing in the space of I don't know, fucking a week and a half, 2 weeks, not even. So we're blown away by that. So. In the spirit of the kind of season and the Christmas appeal, we have a guest on here, and if you remember last year, a guy stepped forward and offered us 2 pairs of prescription Ray-Ban sunglasses out of the blue. We were like, "This is fucking generosity blows us off the map." We're like, "What the fuck?" And Liam went and picked up the glasses from this guy and came back with a kind of story that kind of made us all kind of stop and go, "That's incredible." And so this individual, this man has come back again this year with another amazing praise for our raffle, and we've decided to have him on here to have a chat about the work he's done in his life in terms of I don't want to go into it too much. I want him to speak about it, I suppose. So Sean Walls, you're very welcome to the show, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, Joe. Thanks for having me on. Actually, I'm really pleased about this. I'm a big fan of the show.
Here's the thing, right? So, Sean, you texted me earlier on the day and said, I'm a long-term listener from back in the Larkin and Harper days, right? And I was like, that's a long way back, right? The first question is, Sean, have you been assessed for any kind of mental illness over the years?
I've spent many a time over the COVID period listening to this show, man. It was like a wee saviour over COVID.
Hope you won't drink as much as us at the time.
Oh, Jesus, bags and bags of cans, man, wasn't it? So, there was many a lost night. And then you're going to get up in the morning and listen to the show again because I can't actually remember any of that.
Well, that's one thing I don't do.
I still have nightmares. I drank a bottle of rum the early weeks of COVID and fucking fell asleep during a fucking conversation and woke up and went, what are we going to talk about this? What about this thing? And the lads are like, talk about that for the last half an hour. You fucking maniac. Oh my God, fair enough. So Sean, I had a chat with you earlier on the phone, and Liam has spoken to us about you in the past. And we just wanted to have you on. I mean, I kind of feel like this is probably something we should probably do anyway at this time of year, is kind of have people on who kind of support us and have them speak about the work they do and and I suppose why they kind of support what we do. But I kind of want to start, I suppose, with you saying, like, I mean, you told me earlier on that you're from a scheme, and a lot of what you've done in your life in terms of like the good charitable work you've done that we're going to talk about now has come from that sort of background and that sort of base of you being the kind of person that you are. And I suppose I want to kind of let you give you a chance here to tell us how it went from that to what you explained to me earlier on today about how much good work you've done out in Kenya.
So, guys, I kind of come from an optical background. I set up a business at 23 and I make specs. I've done it since I was 15, really. And then 2008, I've got a manufacturing business, so I make specs for opticians, and at a peak we were making 350 pair of specs a day. But then I convert it from manufacturing into retail, and then I'm making 5 pairs of specs a day. But I've got the capacity, still got the capacity to make more. So I reach out to a charity that's based in the UK that it's called Vision Aid Overseas, and I try and make specs for them. I want to see if I can work with them. And I reach out to them multiple occasions and nobody ever gets back in touch with me. And then the kind of story is I watched the movie The Last King of Scotland. And there's a scene in it where James McAvoy spins a globe and puts his finger on it. And he puts his finger on Uganda. And it's a true story. Guy from Perth, and he goes to Uganda and becomes the private doctor for Idi Amin, the Prime Minister at the time. So I kind of wake up the next day and I think, fuck, I'll just set up my own charity. I'll just do this myself. So I meet somebody who was from Kenya, and they tell me that Kenya is home to the second biggest slum in Africa. It's 2.5 square kilometres, and it's estimated 1 million people live in it. So that says to you, Joe, I was born in Postal Park, I grew up in Milton. So a wee bit schemy, so I'm just kind of like, fuck, I kind of want to go and see that. I want to see what that's like. I think I can help somebody there. So book flights to Nairobi, and then I'm there for a week. And then one of the days, I'm driving down the street in a taxi, and I seen a sign on a wall that said Kenya Society for the Blind. And I'm like, taxi driver, stop, give me 2 minutes here. And I go in and I'm kind of saying to them, can I speak to somebody? Is there somebody I can speak to? I think I can help you guys.
See, before you go on, Sean, did you
Yep.
know anybody in Kenya? Did you just fly over there yourself? And
So I'd met somebody here
Right.
in Glasgow who was from Kenya.
Right.
And that's where the Kenya connection came in. Like she'd explained this area, you know, so I've Googled it then, do you know what I mean? I've looked up Kabira
But she
on
didn't give you any
Wikipedia.
contacts of that when you got to Kenya. You basically just done it with yourself.
Well, I'd went with her,
Right.
right?
Yeah,
So two of us went out,
Right.
but I didn't know anybody. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like I absolutely didn't know anybody, but like I'm a wee wido, so I was just kind of like, I'll just wing it. Do you know what I mean? And see what I can do. And then just by chance, as I say, I seen this sign for Kenya Society for the Blind. So as I say, I've walked in, was like, look, can I speak to somebody? I think I can help you guys. So so they send somebody, I have a chat with them, and I get asked back the next day to have a meeting with them. And I'm at the meeting next day, and they're kind of saying to me, so what is it you want? You know, is it a business you want? You know, do you want grant funding? You know, is it money? And I was like, I don't want anything. I can make specs. I think I can make specs for you guys. So that week they organised for 13 kids to get an eye test, and 6 of the kids needed specs. So I bring the prescriptions back to East Kilbride, and I've still got the lab and all that. So I make the first one. It takes me 10 minutes to make a pair of specs, and I'm 51 now. In my life, I've made like 100,000 pairs of specs or something like that. And when I make that first one, it just kind of hurt me, and I was like, no way, somebody's going to see 6,000 miles away because of what I've just done here. So box them up, ship them out. I then get introduced to somebody who's got a friend who's a Jesuit priest in Kenya. And he tells me that they're doing a medical camp in a place called Voi, 8 hours from Nairobi. But they weren't going to do optics because they had no access to anybody doing glasses. So I've agreed to do the glasses for them. And they've went ahead and done a medical camp. And then they've contacted me at the start of the following week and tell me that 998 people, I think it was, had an eye test. And it was 337 pairs of glasses to be made. Which I was like, fuck, I thought it was going to be about 30. So, right. So spend about couple of weeks, I make up all the glasses, and then I travel out with them, and I'm like, right, I'll go out and I'll fit them on these people in this village. So I go out and I'm staying with the Jesuit priests, and then we drive up to the village, and I take a kilt with me, which I think's dead funny. So I've got a kilt on and like a charity t-shirt, and I've jumped out the Jeep, and everybody's kind of laughing. Everybody's hanging around because we've arrived, but like all the guys are laughing because it looks like I'm wearing a kanga, which is like a women's dress type thing. And the women are all laughing and all that. And then this old guy comes up to me, and he's like to me, Scottish kilt. And I'm like, aye, it's my kilt, aye. And then he's like, I like Ferguson. And I'm like, aye. And then he's like, Darren Fletcher. And I'm like, eh,
And you're right for him.
I'm like, aye, I suppose so, aye. And I'm like, I'm in the middle of fucking nowhere, man. And that's HomeBhoys a Man U fan, man. It was mental. So it was really cool. So I'd spent the whole day just fitting specs on people. It was cracking, but it was just was so appreciative, man. It was brilliant. It was just spiritually dead uplifting. It was really, really cracking. So we've done that for the whole day, and then we've travelled back the following day. So me and Ignatius, the Jesuit priest, we've then made all these plans that we're going to do all these camps, and we'll do like 4 a year, and we'll help all these different people. And then the way back, we've had to stop because he needed medicine. He'd an upset stomach. So he's got medicine. Stayed with him a couple of days. I come back over to Scotland. And he's phoned us a couple of weeks later, said that he's turned really no well and he's having to go to Boston for an operation. And then he phones me to say that he's been diagnosed with stomach cancer and he's getting rushed in that night for surgery. So he was only like, he was a young guy, he was like 32 or something like that. Good. And I phoned him the night before and I'm like, Ignatius, you'll be fine, do you know what I mean? You're only young and all that, you'll be absolutely fine. I'm like, I'll phone you in the morning. And I wake up the next day to an email for the Jesuits in Nairobi to say that he passed away during the surgery.
Fuck.
So he was, it was wild, man. So he was my contact, do you know what I mean? He was the guy that was going to help me with this thing, and we've mapped this whole project out. And I couldn't get my head around it, do you know what I mean? So I was like, why would that happen? Because we were going to do so much good stuff. So that's my thing's done, do you know what I mean? That was all my plans up there. And then I kind of wrestle with it for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I'm like, I almost want to keep it going in his memory, do you know what I mean? So in Scotland, to train to be an optician, you go to Cala Uni in Glasgow. So I then look at it, well, where do you become an optician in Kenya? And it's a place called KMTC, Kenya Medical Training College, in Nairobi. So I then head back out and I go to KMTC and I go to the optometry department and I'm like, can I speak to somebody? Because there's a project I want to do and I want to know if you guys can assist us with it. So one of the lecturers comes out to see me and I say to him, look, could I almost use like final year students to do eye screening projects with me, and I'll pay them and I'll pay their travel and paying the expenses and all that, but they're then getting real-time experience in their final year and I'm getting the kids tested and I'll make the specs and I'll deliver the specs out. So we agree it and we trial it. And we do our first project in the slum in Kibera. And first day's testing, we've got all these kids all lined up and stuff like that to come for a test. And a teacher says there's a kid in the line, and one of the teachers like, oh, don't test him. He doesn't do his schoolwork. He's a dummy. And I'm like, it's a bit harsh. Everybody's getting tested, do you know what I mean? So we're going to test him anyway. So we get a kid over and the optician looks at him and the optician comes to me and he's like, Sean, he's got cataracts in both eyes. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's only 8. And he's like, yeah, he's probably been born with them. I didn't even know that was a thing. So I've been in optics 30 odd years. And old people in this country need cataract surgery, do you know what I mean? Because their lens changes with time. This was kids born with it. So again, so I'm then like, Jesus, that kid's got these and nobody knows. And he's attending school now, he can't see clear, there's little frosty lenses in his eyes. But he doesn't know any different because he's never seen any different. So I come home and I'm talking to a patient in my work about it. And her mum has just had surgery done here on the NHS. And Maureen's like, can I pay for that wee boy? And I was like, let me find out. So there's a hospital called Kikuyu Hospital. We reached out to them. Yes, they would do the surgery. I think it was like £147. And Maureen was like, I'll pay for that, Sean. So we paid for it. We sorted out money, but I get somebody to come and collect the kid, took him into the hospital, and the kid gets his operation and all that. And then next time I'm out, I go, they live in Kibera, they live in the slums, so I go and see them. I go and meet his mum and all that. It's brilliant, man. And then the mum takes me to the school to meet the kid in school and all that. It was really cool. So after that was me hooked. Do you know what I mean? Just wee things like that. That was me. This is what I want to do. So
Jesus, here, Sean, I'm fucking tearing up here, but that's amazing. Oh, holy fuck.
See the wee kid, did he no need glasses after they get the surgery then? Is he alright?
I couldn't see a thing, Jason, so look, everybody's got a lens in their eye. It's like a bag of gel.
My mum's had the cataract surgery. She's had it.
Aye, so So your eye just becomes like frosty looking. So
Aye.
your mum would have struggled to see it, and they take that out and put a clean one in. So that's what they've done with that kid, and that was like the first time he could see. So it was mental.
How old was he at this point when he first got to like see clearly?
Oh, he'd have been 9, I think. I think he was 8. He was either 8 or 9 when we tested. Billy Omondi's name is. I'll never forget his name. It was either 8 or 9 when we tested him, and then I met him like, I don't know, 4 months later, something like that. I was back out, and I went to see him in his school and all that, and he took me into his class and all that. It was brilliant. It was really, really cool.
And me and you chatted a bit on the phone earlier on, Sean, about like, I mean, that kind of condition being so kind of low on the health sort of fucking, you know, bingo card when it comes to
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, they're, you know, obviously there's the kind of big one things like AIDS and stuff like that, right? So they're trying to feed kids, they're trying to keep them safe, they're trying to keep them housed and all that way down the line. Because the Ignatius, the priest, asked me, he's like, Sean, why do you want to eye test kids? And I'm like, Ignatius, that's your next generation, man. You catch him now. We go into schools and there's no electricity, anything like that, and they'll paint the wall black, and that's like a blackboard, so it's quite dark. You kind of, I don't know. We I'd done projects in Malawi. It was 250 kids in a class. So if these kids can't see, they're not going to get taught. They're not going to get an education. And in this country, kids get free specs with the NHS. Do you know what I mean? It's not like kids can come into me and get specs and break them in a week and then get another pair. But you don't get that there. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, well, I can fix that in 10 minutes. Do you know what I mean? I was like, even if I've done a handful, that would be excellent. Since we started it, I've done over 55,000 eye tests. So
Wow,
it's
yeah.
been cracking. I've loved it. I've really, really loved it. So back in, when would that have been? So with the projects, we're doing the project for about 5 years maybe, and we keep getting asked that, but kids can't hear. You know, this child's got a problem with their ears. Can you do something with that? And I'm like, we only do eyes. But it kind of bugged me. So at the time, there was 43 million population in Kenya, and there was 11 audiologists in the country. Only 11 people that could do hearing tests. So I decided to go to uni to train to be an audiologist so that I could add audiology projects on to the eye testing projects. So I graduated June 20. There's only 5 companies in the world that make hearing aids, so I pitched to all 5 companies. And one of them sells me, where I buy 30 pairs of hearing aids. They gave me like a good price and all that. So we found there's an organisation called Kenya Society for Deaf Children, and this is kids that are in deaf schools. They've got 147 schools across Kenya, and I'm kind of convinced. I'm like, I bet there's kids in there that are only deaf. They've just got a hearing loss, and I can fix that with a set of hearing aids. Do you know what I mean? And I can get these kids out of deaf schools and transition straight into mainstream schools.
Yeah.
So I do my first project, and it was February 22. So obviously the COVID thing kind of threw everything up. And then February 22, I'd went out and I've got 3 boys. I took one of my kids, my oldest kid out with me to kind of help me. And we done, I think it was like 31 hearing tests in the first project. And I think it was something like 26 kids we fitted with hearing aids. And that's cracking. Specs is dead good, but see fitting hearing aids in kids, 12, 13, 14. And you're speaking to them and your voice is the first thing that they hear. That was really cool. So we've done 3 audiology projects over the last couple of years as well. So
unbelievable, mate. That's you're a modern day Jesus Christ, by the way.
I actually don't know what to say to you. I mean, I as you know, as a long time listener, I can talk some level of fucking fish, right? I don't know what to say to you about like that level of commitment and that level of endeavor and that level of fucking. I mean, like I would never have thought about, obviously because I'm not in that world, about how sight and hearing would impact people in that level of poverty. It would never cross my radar. But speaking to you today and then hearing you now, you realize like, well, it's fucking 2 of your main senses, isn't it? Like, so,
it's just there's a safety element to it.
As a fucking human being, that it kind of benefits all of us to have all of the senses operating. You know what I mean? At a functional level. I mean, and for young, and I've worked a lot with young kids. My wife's got a Montessori here in our house, and you come across a lot of kids with different issues. And it's only when you see it and you see the impact it can have on development, that you realize that intervention and support can transform potential lives, all that.
Well, that's what I thought, Joe. Because I'm saying if there's kids, say I've got 3 boys, right? So my kids at school here. So if the kids can't see, they're going to play up and act up and all that. Do you know what I mean? And then they're spoiling it for the other kids. And I can fix that in 10 minutes. That's what kind of made me do it. And then my kids have been out and all. I've had my boys out getting involved with doing projects I want them to do it. Joe, me and you said this earlier. My kids go out there and they're totally fine. Right? They go out and they get involved and all that. But whenever I'm out there, I'm only ever surrounded by dead happy kids. Right? Just kids are presentable and all that. They're attending school. Some of them have got no shoes and all that one. They've maybe had to walk and all that, but walking with no shoes. But they're there every day. Do you know what I mean? Education's their way out of poverty, so they take education dead serious. And then I'll do talks in schools here, and I'm talking to kids that are wearing Nike trainers. They've got iPhone 17s. They've got a PlayStation 5 in their house, and they're miserable. Do you know what I mean? Their faces fitting them, and I'm like,
I mean,
right.
we did chat earlier on, and I was kind of saying, like, I mean, there's something to be said for the fact that maybe they aren't as distracted away from humanity as we maybe are in the West.
I'd say to Joe, just big, strong family values and all that. Church going, respect for their grandparents and all that. All that's really massive. So I'm dead lucky that I've been able to do it. It's just a wee thing. It's just a wee thing that I like doing. Do you know what I mean? I go over maybe twice a year, but dead lucky to be able to do it.
So what is your charity, Sean? Have you got an official charity?
So we set up a charity in 2009, I think it was. It's called Sight Aid International.
Sight Aid International. You'll share the link to all the listeners.
I was saying to Joe, actually, earlier, Jason, so we had a web page, social media presence for it. And over the COVID time, somebody emailed me to say that there was somebody in London, had somebody at their doorstep raising money for Sight Aid International, looking for donations. And they printed off like a charity's logo and all that and turned it into a lanyard and everything. We were scunnered with that. I thought that was horrible. So we kind of took down the website and stuff like that. We still got a Facebook page. But my works, I'm lucky that the works kind of can fund the charity. We've done fundraising in the past. We've done it in the beginning, we were doing race nights and all that. So just the same as you guys do with the appeal, you're asking people to come to attend things, to spend money and all that. But we've got ourselves to a position where the charity the business funds the charity. So we don't necessarily need to do that. And the charity just it does its own thing. Now we get donations. What happened to me in the beginning was we'd done the first few projects and spec companies were getting in touch with me and saying, Sean, we've got like boxes of glasses here, brand new. Could you use them for your project? So I was then getting the specs for nothing, so it wasn't even costing me anything. All I was buying was the lenses, and the lenses were relatively cheap. So it kind of grew then, people were getting involved. We were getting stuff. It's been really cool. It's been a cool wee journey.
I tell you, Ignatius will be proud of you, mate.
I was just, they took words out of my mouth, Jason. I was thinking the same thing, going like, fucking, talk about being a man's name proud.
I know. And do you know, I was married in St. Ignatius, Iloilo and Wisher, and our kids were all there as well, He was actually a Basque soldier, believe it or not. St. Ignatius.
Wow.
Aye. And then he founded the Jesuits. Aye. My granny actually adopted a Jesuit priest, Father Joe D'Ambrosi, and he lived out in Africa. I think it was actually Kenya. And I mind he used to come down to my granny's. We'd only see him every now and then, and he couldn't take to living back here. He wanted to get back to Africa because he says that's where everybody was happy. Just exactly what you said there. He says everybody's got everything here, but they're sad. But people have got nothing there, but they've got everything.
Jason, that's what I see. See, whenever I'll take pictures and stuff like that. But what I don't do, most charities have always used pictures. Everybody's dead, sad. Everything's grim and all that. There is an element to that, but I'm from Milton, right? There's bits of Milton that's a bit grim. There's what I see is dead happy kids, loads of joy, loads of happiness and all that. So whenever we take pictures, I try and show pictures of that. Do you know what I mean? Like these folk are happy, they're having a good life. So
Brilliant, mate, you're a hero.
Right.
Oh,
Speaking of going through life, you've donated something that is exciting me and scaring me. Right? You explained a lot of things to me today, right? So I kind of did a botch job in the last podcast of explaining what this prize is, right? You could explain it to me because you explained it to me today, and I was like, I'm frightened by this, but also really, really intrigued. So far away there, Sean, because I was blown away.
So last year, I put in the Ray-Bans, Ray-Ban sunglasses. And then this year, when you guys mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, that the pool was starting again. And I love the appeal, I love the fact you just do it. And again, you are the exact same as me. You do it because you can. Do you know what I mean? I do what I do because I get a chance to do it. You guys did exactly the same thing. It's brilliant. So I was like this year, right? Ray-Ban have got Meta glasses. I was like, I'll throw on a pair of Metas, but I'm going to use Oakley's instead. There's a new Oakley one that's come out. So pair of specs, camera built into them. So these specs can take pictures, take videos. You can live stream straight onto Facebook, whatever you're looking at. They can take calls, stream music. They'll read your WhatsApp messages will come through. You can get it to read your message. You can reply back to your message. You can reply back as a message or a voice note. You can look at something and ask the glasses what it is you're looking at. So you can look at a picture, you can look at a screen, you can look at a flower. And you say, hey Meta, what flower's that? And it takes a photograph of them, searches the web, and then tells you exactly what it is you're looking at. It can translate, so you can look at a sign or a menu and you just say, hey Meta, translate that for me. And it translates it in English for you. You can translate calls. So somebody can phone you and speak in a foreign language, and that can translate it in English for you in real time while you're on the call. So they're bonkers.
Things are moving too fast. They're moving too fast for me. I am scared of the future.
Right, so you're wearing these glasses, right? Have you got something linked up to your ears or whatever?
No. So it's called bone conduction. So the speakers built into them.
Oh, right. So basically that speaks to you and tells you what flower it is. Or
aye, so the speakers, I think it's 5 mics built into the glasses. And because it's touching the side of your skull, you can hear it through, basically vibrating through your skull. It's called bone conduction, but it's better because you're listening to something without you having headphones on. So I like getting out walking a wee bit. So if there's a wee bit of East Kilbride, I'll go out walking. But effectively, I've not got headphones on because my ears are open, but I can still listen to something. But as I say, but then you just ask your specs to search you something or tell you something, and it does it also. So they can be prescriptions. So I was going to say to you, whoever wins the prize, just put them in touch with me, and they can either have their actual spectacle prescription put into it. The Oakley ones are brilliant. They've got an 8-hour battery life, so you can wear them all day and you can stream videos, anything, the whole day. And if they want to get in touch with me, I can put prescription on it for them. Or if they want it just as a kind of plain lens or a sunglass lens, I can sort it out whatever it is they want.
Here's my problem with that, Sean, right? If I wore those, it would take me about a couple of weeks to get used to using them, right? So during those couple of weeks, I managed to fucking live stream myself fucking up dinner or fucking in the toilet or something like that. I mean, there was something bad would happen. I mean, in the middle of an argument with your wife, the next thing I fucking live as well. Are you fucking cunt? Or you're in traffic. That's exactly what happened to me. I guarantee it. Right? But that's amazing. I can't thank you enough for that, Sean. For
yeah, that's cool.
Here, by the way, can we give your business a shout out? By the way, because I suppose given the reach we might have, I mean, give your business a shout because I think that's fair.
Cool. As I say, I've got the optician's business is based in East Kilbride. It's called the Optical Factory. I've been here 20 years.
The Optical Factory. Good man. You actually own, Sean, just to talk shite about Celtic?
I was there for a wee bit, right?
You're more than welcome, Sean. We're going to bring in Scott McCorry now because Scott McCorry has got the Rotterdam diaries lined up. I don't know how patchy the memory might be, but let's give him a shot. I mean, since we were last on, Scott, the fixtures that we were on the night before. No, we were on 2 days before the Feyenoord game. We were on the Tuesday at 25th, and then the game was on 27th. But you, sir, were in transit to Rotterdam, and did you have a good time, sir? I know you had a difficult aftermath.
I didn't have any difficult aftermath. I had a great trip. Absolutely brilliant. Jason, as well, Joe, you've been Sean, I don't know about yourself, but coming back to fucking Celtic games when you've lost, you're questioning everything in life, aren't you? You're like, why am I spending all this money following this team who doesn't give a fuck about
Just
me?
like every away trip apart from the odd couple.
I mean, you're on the way home and you're like, this is the last one. Every time you're like, oh, this is fucking garbage. But I'll tell you, a win changes all that. I mean, I've not had many in my life, but by the way, so there's somebody in the chat on the YouTube, right? He's been launched off of Twitter. Now he's kind of chasing his own here. It's CFC Corrective. We'll come to him in a minute. But in terms of Rotterdam, no, it was a great trip. We never spent that amount of money getting there. We had to go via Stansted and stuff like that. But no, the trip was brilliant. We were in the fan part. We were in the fan part to get a ticket. I get a ticket off a guy, and I don't know if you've ever been in the fan parts. We're in the fan part, and it's the boozers are stowed to the gunnel. So you're standing outside. It's raining. You're standing under an umbrella. It's Baltic cold. They've got the Wolf Tones 10th anniversary CD on. Do you know what I mean? And you're like. So I was like, I'm not staying here. So we got a taxi short to the Grun, and we went into this big boozer, and it was all Celtic fans and Feyenoord fans all together, all singing away. Brilliant, man. And I was chatting away to some of the Feyenoord fans behind us because I'd been sitting in their seat, and they were saying, "No, this doesn't happen here. We don't let anybody in this boozer. This boozer ran by a certain selection of Feyenoord fans, and we don't let this happen." I was like, fucking hell. So sure enough, a certain selection of the Feyenoord fans come in, and they were very noticeable, and I was chatting away to them. But it just kind of shows you the Celtic fans, it's a credit to themselves. So, but the funny thing is, you're talking to all the Feyenoord fans before the game, and you're saying to them, "Oh fuck, we've no chance tonight, we're rotten," and they're saying back to you, no, we're rotten," and you're in a kind of rotten off at that point. But I mean, in the game, I didn't have much hopes, to be honest. I thought even how poor they were playing, I thought we would still struggle. But a great trip. As per now that we can get kind of full fat beer at the games, I missed the first and third goal, which is fucking great. I mean, absolutely fucking brilliant. And I literally only just saw the second goal because we were coming up the stair with the beers again, because it was beers we were buying, and coming up the stair, and the boys like, "I'll stand here, you go and get the boys." And as I went up to get the boys, the goal gets rolling in, so I got to cheer. Like, I looked down and he's standing with all these beers with him, like just jumping up and down. And he missed all 3 goals, so that was good for him. But no, brilliant trip, no hassle. The coppers a wee bit fucking, but it wasn't any hassle. Like, the coppers were kind of, here's your search, but there wasn't anybody pushing you. There wasn't any, I get in for the start and all that. It was different. Do you know what I mean? Now, like I said to you, I've kind of gave up going to Italy and Spain, and I appreciate Atalanta wasn't the hassle, but it just seemed easy. Do you know what I mean? And as I say, coming home with 3 points is, I think I could fucking count my horn how many times I've seen Celtic win away, and every time coming home, brilliant, man. You're happy, you're buzzing about it, you're kind of proud of your team again. Do you know what I mean? And it was really, really good. So I've no other mad stories. I came home with everything. That's usually I lose something, and I came home with something. So all in all, I was buzzing. I mean, who expected that?
I know. Did you stay in Rotterdam? Because you were in Eindhoven, weren't you? You travelled the day of the game.
So we flew in, we get into Eindhoven about 2:00, and we'd been in the lounge in Stansted, so we're obviously a wee bit, whoa. And we went to the digs, we get ourselves sorted, but we were out in Eindhoven that night, we watched Eindhoven Liverpool. You'd enjoyed that, Jay boy. So
I went there left Eindhoven.
we were in with all the aim. The boys that were in was jumping, so we're in with aim and we're fucking going loudly with aim and all, do you know what I mean? And so we had a cracking night there. And then the next day, we decided to go up to the Phillips State Stadium.
Yeah.
And before we get the train to Rotterdam, and we went up, we went in, and you know yourself, I usually get if I can get a wee duck, I get myself a duck. I usually get a bar scarf with a badge on it, and I get a wee pin badge. And I was in getting my stuff, and the boys are all floating about, and they had a wee, like, where the tour starts. And so all the boys are all standing there. I was like, well, we got a photo here with the Celtic flags out and all that. We got a few photos. And the boy came round and took a few photos for us. And then he's come on to us just as we're leaving and gives us a PSV flag. He's like, take that into the ground, take that into the ground. We're like, we'll take that into the ground. Put it in the bag. I was like, well, fuck, take that into the ground. This guy's a man. Well, we're outside there. I'll tell you, it's a wee funny one. I thought it was funny anyway. Just a circumstance. So a few of the boys two of the boys had their boys with them, 16-year-olds. So they're all, and obviously they've not seen Celtic win a fucking game ever, and I mean away from him. So their ways there, and we're all standing outside, and they've got this wee fence, like it's separate for the ground, so it must have been part of the old ground or something. So it's like a fence, and it's got their name on it and all that. So we're all standing there, and the boys, the first set, they went up here, take a photo of me and him, and then next one, take a photo of me and him. So me and my mate Tam went up and went, aye, we'll get one. And we're standing there. And everybody's just looking at us. And we're standing smiling. And nobody's taking a photo of us. And it must have been like 5 minutes. We're like, is somebody going to take a fucking photo of us? You know what I mean? Standing in front of this bloody thing. So sure enough, they've got statues outside. We've got the statues all covered in Celtic stuff and all that. And then there's a Lazio sticker away up just beside the lights. And obviously, you've got a good few drinks, and you're right, let's rip that Lazio sticker down, man. So we've got two of the young boys fucking launched up, trying to pull up this sticker, and sure enough, to the coppers, no chinners, man. I mean, like fucking 46 launching a 16-year-old up to get a Lazio sticker. But no, so we get the train through with the Rebels blaring. It's just a cool place and all. So the guy comes through.
Magic earlier as well.
The guy comes through and he checks the tickets. And he's like, Celtic, Rotterdam, I support PSV. Like, brilliant. And we've got the tunes on. He's like, oh, but that was the first thing. He checked and he's like, by the way, no drinking. And everyone is like, what? And he just busts out laughing. He's like, fucking hell, man, football and drinking. And he says, can you turn the tunes down a wee bit? And I turn it down and he's like, no, put it up louder. So the guy was class, man. And then we went to Rotterdam, getting the digs, put our stuff in, and then that was us out, and that was brilliant. No hassle at all. Met a couple of dodgy characters for their end, got their number, which I don't know. I'm really hoping that doesn't come back and bite me in the arse. I think I was promised them Hunt tickets at one point. You know what I mean? I kind of hope that doesn't fucking bite me, you know what I mean? But and then coming out after the game, no hassle again. Next day, as I say, you get home and you're. Everything seems easier when you get the 3 points back in your pocket, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it was a good trip, man. Good trip.
See, to be fair, they are one of the away supports that we go on well with, you know, because
there's
a lot of them that come out of Celtic games. There's a lot of Celtic fans go and watch them as well. So there is that kind of link there, although they are nutters. But they're all right with us.
See, the thing with Feyenoord, right, mainly due to the song. No, I told this story before. I'll tell it again, bugging it. Celtic played, I can't remember who Celtic played that. No, Celtic never played that. Anyway, now down in the corner, now you get the KFC, the Pizza Hut, McDonald's and whatever else in the corner in Glasgow, the Cross. Aye. So I was coming out to work and Rangers were playing Feyenoord that night. And I was only a boy. I think it was the one. Pierre was playing with Feyenoord at the time. And I went into the KFC to get something. And there was genuinely two giants in front of me with Feyenoord stuff on, right? And they're kind of just turning about. And I'm standing behind them with my wee suit on and that. And the guys turn around. The two of them turn around at the same time and look at me. And it was like, land of the Giants. I've looked up and I was like, he's going to win the night, lads. And he's went, you want us to beat these Rangers fucks? And I was like, I do indeed. And he's like, fuck these fucking Rangers. I hate these piece of shit. And then he started singing, come on, you boys. And getting like banging the voice and all that. All right. And ever since that, and then you remember, I think it was in the return game, Big Pierre scored 2 free kicks against them.
Yeah, they won the cup that year, I think, final.
Yes, who did they beat in the final?
Was it Dortmund?
Borussia Dortmund.
Aye.
And ever since that, I've kind of always wanted to go. And then there was a whole load. I don't know if you ever remember, Guidetti scored a hat trick against Ajax, and they were all dancing at the end. It was all raving. I was like, "Oh, it's bumping, man."
Aye.
And ever since then, I've kind of took a liking to them. But to get back to your whole point, they're fucking bonkers. You know what I mean? There's like 2 ways about it, man.
Do you remember 200 of them came out for a Celtic Aberdeen game? We had a night in McCool's for them. They do that Gabba music. Fucking hell, I had to leave, man. I couldn't
That's bad. That shit.
Oh.
I like techno, but that's too much.
Joe, if you're saying that, we're fucked, mate.
That's fucked.
But, aye, so there is definitely a nice wee link there, and that's brilliant, Scott. I thought Aberdeen would have a good time, but it was great to hear. Liam loved it as well, him and Zoe.
Yeah.
What a game of football too.
Brilliant. Oh, superb.
I'll leave that to you, boys. I'm buying the beers.
I didn't see that coming at all, to be honest.
No. See, we went 1-0 down. My fucking chin dropped, and I was like, oh, fuck.
I wasn't even expecting him. Do you know, see if we had get beat 3-0 or that, I wouldn't even have been too raging. I wasn't even that bothered about it because I was more worried about the league at that point because you're just saying, we'll get pumped off Midtjylland and we're probably going to get pumped again. But I don't know whether Feyenoord were really terrible and we were just all right or we were really good. Maybe a mixture of both, but I thought Celtic were excellent and controlled the majority of the game.
I think it was a kind of confluence of different confidences. I mean, it was kind of like, at periods, I thought they looked really, really good.
Yeah.
But
I agree with that.
But I think we look way more resilient and way more fucking driven to actually get something done. I mean, because they didn't look a bad team in my eyes.
See, to be honest, Joe, right? And this is a general comment, and we were talking about it on Wednesday night at the game. That see guys like Yang and all that, right? And guys like Yang at Celtic are always going to be up and down in terms of, oh, I told you he was a player, and then the next guy, oh, I told you he was shit, and then I told you he was a player, he looks like he's getting better, or he's getting worse. I think Yang's always going to be in that, but Celtic need our spine to be good, and there is a definite correlation between us going to Feyenoord and Callum McGregor looking like Callum McGregor again. Do you know what I mean? And that's where Martin O'Neill gets the credit because
I think Engels as well.
Well, again, like I said a few weeks ago, I always thought, I've thought for a while, he needs more responsibility. He needs more to do.
But Joe, right, before we bring in Sean and let's see what he's saying, I agree with Engels, right? You know I love Engels, right? I like Engels. I think Engels is the future of Celtic, and I really do. And I'll argue that. We say Hatate frustrates me, but when you get a Hatate like he was in Rotterdam, is there, outside of McGregor, is there a better midfielder in Scotland? And I'm including Engels. Do you know what I mean? When he hits his heights, the boy's amazing. It's as always. Well, we know it's consistent, but I think they two guys will still have up and downs. It's up to them to get the consistency. But Callum McGregor being back to his best to me, that's what's happened. That's why Celtic are dragging. I mean, Paisley, for example. Do you know what I mean? So that's just my. I think Callum McGregor's been the massive thing, and the way Martin O'Neill hugged him in that wee video and all that just shows it. You know what I mean? So Sean, what about yourself? What did you do for the game?
So watched it in the house.
Just watching.
So similar to you guys, like I was after the Midtjylland game, like I wasn't sure, do you know what I mean? And just everything with the backdrop that's going on, just now with the club, you're kind of watching it and you're thinking, this is just another European game. Same result. So there was no way I was expecting it, the 3-1. But I hadn't realised it was 4 years since it was last away once. One that came up as a start. I hadn't realised it was as long as that, but That was brilliant though. Loved it. Just never
Would
seen
that have
it
been
coming.
Lazio the last away win before that? Probably would have been, wouldn't it? Would that have been Lazio? Oh, I can't remember.
I don't know, but they said that at the end. It's been 4 years since the last away one. So like, wasn't expecting it. And you're kind of hoping for it. Do you know what I mean? But I wasn't expecting.
What about the
As you
stats?
say, you
Like,
don't often see them.
Martin
No,
O'Neill.
would they not have
Martin,
been?
Martin O'Neill had the first win away in the Netherlands since himself.
And that was 3-1 as well.
I was at that.
Name. That's like coming back to your ex-bird going, here, I'll take care of it.
mad when you think about it.
One more time, let's go. It's fucking
So the last away one was in 2021-22 Europa League, and that'd have been against Ferencváros.
There you go. You're right, they did mention that. Aye, that's what it was. Ferencváros.
Sorry, I killed your flow there, boys. Damn it.
But did you know? See when we get beat with Michelin. See when you're looking at the points tally and you're looking at where we are, but like that. You're looking at all the games you've got left. You've got Feyenoord away, Roma at home, you've got Bologna away, and Bologna away. So you're saying Utrecht at home, you could potentially get that, but you're actually looking at it saying, look, we're fucking going to be lucky to get fucking 6-7 points here.
Aye,
you know,
we sit beside the Hundos.
Aye, and then the next thing you beat them away, and you've still got. So now you've got 3 games, 2 at home and 1 away, and you only really need 3, arguably 4. But you're looking at saying, what kind of you would expect us now to get a playoff place.
You're kind of simmering, going like, it isn't that bad, is it? Like, but here's the thing. I want to move on to this, right? Martin O'Neill has been the fucking greatest fucking medicine to wash down the Rodgers debacle. It's been like a big warm blanket wrapped around all of us. It could have been a shit show. I woke up the day when they fucking I missed the whole thing. I went to bed early at night. Next minute woke up and I was like, is this 2001? What the fuck? Martin is fucking manager now. And I was kind of skeptical. See, I'm gonna miss the fucking guy. I'm gonna miss him.
I think everybody is. You know?
It just feels like a bit of a fever dream. Going like, that guy just came in for 6 weeks, win manager of the month, and fucking bring us level points for Hearts. That just happened.
Do you know what as well? See from my point of view, I wasn't really his greatest fan the way he left and the way he managed. You know, so
fuck him.
So I was a bit. He's sort of cured me because
that's the most important thing. Let's be honest.
Aye, no, from a selfish point of view. Aye, at the end of the day, he left. You know, at that Motherwell game. And well, obviously we won the cup against Dundee United a week later, but that's when he left, and it was like, and the team was gone to shit. Everybody chucked it. It was just a disaster. And Strachan had to pick up the pieces. It was just a fucking shit show. But he gave us amazing times, you know. But
he has now nursed you into comfort, has he?
Aye,
the last 6 weeks.
He's righted the wrongs, and he's come back, and his legacy now is pure. Did none of you think that, Sean? Do you? Did you have any of that?
I remember when he left, but it was his wife, wasn't it? Was that the reason why he left?
That's right. But he never mentioned it. Never mentioned it once to after the final game of the season. I'm like, well, why did you not fuck off and look after us 6 months ago and we could have won the league? But just a selfish.
Come on,
no. Right, so
I'm heat, but
that is the empathy the HomeBhoys is known for.
Right. So, but anyway, I've spoke to plenty of others, and we were all, but that season was a fucking disaster. You know, we got Craig Bellamy on loan, and you look at the players we had at our disposal then, and we couldn't get fucking over the line. You know, I mean, we were lucky to take it to the last game of the season. Bellamy fucking dragged us there, and then fucking hell, that Motherwell, that's fucking scarred me for life. That final game of the season. But I mean, obviously, God love him, whatever his wife was going through and everything. But from a selfish point of view, as a Celtic supporter, you're just like, and I just
see there's you brought it up. I didn't really want to bring it up, but ultimately that was his last game. Now, I know we went and won the cup the following week. That was the kind of dampest, pardon, because it was pushing down and all, but that was the dampest cup final I remember ever in my life.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Celebrate it because you
You were kind of. Aye. And I think it was Dundee United, was it? Aye.
Yeah.
Anyway, Martin O'Neill to me, right? So I kind of come to it a different way, Jabo. Martin O'Neill was like, what's it called? A fucking steel golem or something. Martin O'Neill for me was untouchable. Celtic were just a misery for me growing up. You know what I mean? I kind of touched on the late 80s stuff, and then my whole fucking life was in the 90s. And when you think you're coming back, it was just disappointment. And then a fucking Wim Jansen gives you a league and wraps it the next day, and it was just slapping the face. Dick Advocaat standing in the airports, fucking slagging you off and all that. It was like, oh, for fuck's sake, man. Eh? And Martin O'Neill come in, and he just made us what we would. I mean, there is a bit of looking back about his time, and but no, Martin O'Neill's way up there.
100%. I mean, I
don't. See, I kind of had no resentment. That last season was a dirge. You replace Henrik Larsson with fucking Mo Kamara. Do you know what I mean? How you know getting Bellamy fucking back in? Had to fight with Shearer before we got him. But I know what you're saying. I don't agree, but for Martin O'Neill to come back the way I felt about him to come back, and as Joe rightly says, I'm worried about it. Because, let's be honest with it, Martin O'Neill, I mean, the Nottingham Forest thing was a bit of a joke, but Martin O'Neill's no ripped up any trees in all his management. He done all right with Ireland. That kind of finished a bit fucking stinky as well. And he's come back after years of no doing nothing. And he's come in with Sean Maloney, who we're all calling a club plant. I was on record saying Martin O'Neill is just a figurehead here. Sean Maloney's going to be the man. And quite the opposite. He installed confidence in that team. He got guys like Callum McGregor. He go, forget that, Callum. Just get your head back on it. Forget everything that's outside. Forget everything here. Just you do it. And everybody, I mean, he brought in Osman. He brought in Trusty. He kind of showed up Brendan Rodgers a wee bit. I mean, we'll come to that next week once we do our thing. He just... we had a chat, remember, and I was saying, it must have been hard for Brendan Rodgers because he brought this in and he changed the system. And there's Martin O'Neill come in and he just broke football down into the simplest things. Just you listen to me, do this, do that, and give everything you've got. And fucking look at us. I mean, confidence. Celtic are a good team, and when we come to Nancy, we'll talk about it. But Celtic's a good team. Celtic's the best team in the league. And obviously something's going wrong off the part that they guys are underperforming. And Martin O'Neill just gave him it back, and he gave us it back. And as you say, a double love him, man. He's a fucking legend. No problem at all in my eyes, man.
Oh, without a doubt.
Sean, have you felt it? Have you enjoyed it?
Oh, it's been brilliant, isn't it? I mean, but the style of football's changed as well, just what you're saying there, Scott. The back passing has seemed to have stopped. You know, it's pressing forward and all that now. It's pushing forward, and it's better to watch. A question for you then, actually. So he's 8 games and he's won 7. Do you think if Rodgers was still there, it'd be the same? Because I don't. I think there's so many games we've won that we wouldn't have won.
What I've noticed, right, is that the horseshoe football kind of dynamic, to a certain degree, probably still exists, but I feel players on the edge of the box feel more free to take chances under O'Neill than they did under Rodgers, right? I feel that there's a stranglehold to Rodgers' ethic and technique and structure that becomes counterproductive at some point. And I think O'Neill's sort of freedom of like, go out there and enjoy yourself, go out and play the football you can play. It's fine. The structure's there. The numbers are there. It's all there. But within that, play your game, and that's where you get Yang coming on. That's where you get angles coming on. I mean, that's where you get differences in choices. When a guy like O'Neill isn't fucking I don't want to say micromanaging, but certainly being too particular about what he expects from you in your particular role. I think Martin O'Neill's ethic, his approach, is like, yeah, that's your position, that's your role, but within that, show me something different, express yourself, and I think that's the difference to me, anyway.
On you go, Sean.
Sorry, Jason. But you just said there about like Trusty coming back. Like I couldn't understand that. Trusty and Scales against Atalanta were brilliant that night, and then Rodgers bins him. You know, he's not. There was games that he wasn't even on the bench.
It was a mad.
And then Martin O'Neill brings him back.
Sean, to come back to you, it was a mad attitude to suggest that they couldn't play together because of the left and right thing. Just to touch on
a mad statement, but towards the end there was loads of mad statements, but that didn't make any sense because you seen them play. Do you know what I mean? You did know it did work, and it was almost like I don't know. Yeah, obviously they're going to do a Brendan Rodgers podcast, but it was like a petulant child at the end a wee bit.
Aye, it was
just
like
deliberately. It's sabotage the club, but deliberately no playing players that we're all asking for, and then Martin O'Neill comes in and then plays them, and then as you say, you go for 8 points behind now on the same points with a game in hand. Just staying with Celtic there.
Aye, exactly. But see, like in totally simplistic terms, right? See if you're Rodgers, right? He was getting the fans on side and he was getting half scot-free because he just kept fucking showing the board's failings about no strength in the team, right? But see when you've got a manager that says it's glaringly obvious what we need better players. So you're basically telling the players you've got at your disposal and they're shite, and then you're wanting to run through a brick wall for you. I mean, I'm pretty sure he had lost that dressing room.
Well, that's no labour on it because, as I say, we are going to do it.
Yeah.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I mean, we all felt Neil Lennon lost the dressing room when he slagged all the guys after Forest, and I agree with you. But the blessed Martin, God bless him, and well done, Fozzie. Well done, Fozzie. What a guy, man! What a guy! Delighted.
A lot of them, him, Sean Maloney, and Neil, the three of them done us absolutely proud. They were fucking so good and just what we needed. And the thing is, you could rewrite history and say that the 7 games out of 8 we won was all swashbuckling, football and unbelievable. St Mirren was far from it. Dundee the other night was kind of no great. It was all right. But at the end of the day, you got the W. And at this stage in the season, when a new manager came in, it's all we really needed. And by fuck that Feyenoord result has got us right back in Europe with a lot to look forward to for the rest of the season. And it's all down to the A3. Obviously, the players, it's down to the players, but if there wasn't the A3 guiding the players through it, I've got heavy doubts whether it would have happened. You know, Maeda and Hatate, especially, they kind of chucked it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and brilliant. So,
are they staying on? Has it been mentioned to them like that? If they're getting kept on?
God knows, mate. God
knows.
No,
it's not been mentioned. I don't know.
Who the fuck's going to tell us, Sean? Fuck's sake, man. His club, fucking secret society, man.
Well, see for that Celtic collective meeting, you go back to it, and one of the points they did agree with, we realise our communication could be better. Since that fucking night, Martin O'Neill is the only person we've heard to Celtic talk about anything.
They were waiting for Brendan Rodgers to update everybody.
I was waiting on Martin O'Neill announcing in fact, he is the one that's really announced the new manager. Fucking
I know, he's been top spot.
Aye, I know. Fucking he's announcing the manager. Fucking shambles. So, aye.
I'm sure we'll come on that. I bet you're talking about games. I mean, even Sunday's game, I think we're at Sunday's game now, aren't we? I mean, you've got yourself into a great position. Second half wasn't great and could have been. Fuck's sake, man.
They were hanging on at the end.
Did you go, J-Bo?
No, I didn't go. No, I didn't get a ticket and end up getting a ticket, but I made plans sort of thing. Went to see the old kneecap at night, so I didn't go. And I was thinking, I'm working the Monday, so I said, if I got there early kick after you're in the tune, you're at a kneecap at night, well, it would have been a fucking disaster Monday. So, I couldn't do it. So, watched it on the telly. Were you up, Scott?
No, mate. No, I was, once again, I never got a ticket, but I never chased one. It was So my Wayne's, we're finishing with the club with it, and it was my Wayne's football team. That was our last game for the club, and I've dipped a few other games recently because of the Sunday games, and I just didn't feel it right. Because I see the last game, it's at Christmas, and I usually give them like a selection box and all that, cater and make a big deal of them. So I didn't really want to do that. So I done that, and then I got up the road, and I was literally in the door to say, let's go the first. So bouncing, man, and but the protest looked good. I was delighted with the protest. You hear him back for that, the red card.
The red cards.
Brilliant, man. The ticket thing's bonkers, isn't it?
Oh, I mean, we've been going on about it for so long, but at the end of the day, all Hibs did was mirror what they did to Rangers because of the way their fans were acting, and just done the same to us. But Scottish football's fucking eating itself. That's what so many $100,000 that Hibs have just pissed up against the wall. Not one fan, not one Hibs fan in the top tier.
If they think that's fine, that's fine. As I've repeated this, I'm not here to tell another club how they're doing their things, but don't be start lecturing us down the line or that. Oh, you've got all this money, because we go to the games, all right? You choose not to go to the games. That's up to you, and you don't want us to go to the games. There's always seem to be a dumb and down in Scotland, doesn't there? We need to bring you down to our level so we can be equal, rather than we'll try and come up to your level. But in terms of the game, first half punished them, made them into mistakes, and then we looked as comfortable as you get. Second half, I don't know. Second half, I mean, it was spoken about, wasn't it, that we've been back to Easter Road a good few times after European games, and we have kind of struggled. And that was not unlike St Mirren, as you said. I was just delighted to get the points. I was up and down, and see when the final whistle went, I was on my bloody knees. I was clapping and everything in the living room, like, oh, come on, sell it now. And brilliant, man, brilliant. What about yourselves?
No, Sean, do you want to go? We've been blathering a load of shit here. On you go, mate.
No, you're fine. So same. I've just been kind of wanting to claw the points back. Do you know what I mean? So scrappy 1-0 wins would have done me. But it's just better football to watch. But do you know what I mean? You're actually enjoying the games now. Look, at the start of the season, the games were turgid. So just actually enjoying watching the football again.
We were talking about it, Sean. We were talking about styles of football, and I was saying I really always like counter-attacks type of. So I've kind of get a wee bit of an old school attitude. I love a big forward. I love somebody who can hold the ball up, a battering ram. He'll give you he's always there for the goals, but he can bring the play up and stuff like that. And I think we are missing that. I mean, however well Johnny Kenny's done, I can't see him being that type of player. I like Iheanacho when he was playing with us. I thought he looked that part. But I like the counter attack. And I like seeing guys busting up the park and breaking the spaces and stuff like that. But Brendan Rodgers really did like that slow passive. We'll beat you because we're better than you type of football. And when you lose guys who have got that wee bit at you, when you lose Jota, when you lose Kuhn, when Maeda's no kind of getting busting up the park as well, it really took away from his team, and his team did, as you say, the football was dire. Even the good results, the football was murdered, man. And Martin O'Neill just made it simple, but as you say, exciting. Exciting's a big word, isn't it? I suppose a 1-0 win's always more exciting than a 4-0 win.
And the thing is, see with you with you like the counter attack and stuff. Some of the football against Hibs in the first half is out of this world.
Yeah.
Counter attack, you know.
See the one we had to post for Sriracha.
Oh, Sriracha.
See that goes in. That's one of the best goals I've seen, man.
What a move! It was brilliant. By the way, has there been any update for him after he took off midweek?
He would have greeting again. I'm fed up seeing Celtic players going to have greeting, man.
Look like a fucking another hamstring.
Aye.
But nobody's mentioned anything about it, have they?
I emailed them. They say they'll get back to me in a 4 weeks.
I'm waiting on Nicholson gains their update shortly.
Guys, sorry.
Celtic have just announced that we've signed Sirachi, fuck's sake. What are you saying, Sean?
Right, Sean.
Sorry, I'm going to need to sign off. Is that all right?
No,
Sorry,
sweat
mate.
at all.
Sean,
That's
it's
what
up to you,
present,
mate.
my man.
Mate,
Sean, absolute legend, mate. And send your details out and we'll share it.
I will do.
I know you're no pushing to push the charity, but there's a few guys in the chat and that said they wanted to donate as well. And we'll need to get you back on, mate, to give us a wee update on this, because that was absolutely fascinating. It was unbelievable. Thanks very much.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. As I say, I've been a big fan of the show for years, so this was like a wee fanboy moment for me. I've been. I know it sounds mental, but
underwhelming as fuck, I'd say.
Aye, that's exactly what it is. Sean Peace Kilbride on the line. The guys, thanks a lot. I used to take it easy. I've got a listening, but
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. If you ever feel fucking good about yourself, listen to Sean. He'll make you feel terrible, won't he?
Fucking hell.
What's a guy, man?
That was unbelievable.
Seriously.
Wild.
You see, Liam had spoke to him, right, and Liam had mentioned a few things. Liam's like, this guy's story's unreal. Then Joe says this guy's story's unreal. But I didn't know what the story was going to be. And then, fucking hell, I was near greeting, man.
I was in tears. I was like,
unbelievable.
Like,
what a guy.
Just fucking the opportunity to change lives. Like, you could do fuck all. You could do fuck all. You could sit and go, someone else's job. But he didn't.
What a guy, man.
He went, nah, it's my job. I do it.
That was proper amazing.
That's what he said to me earlier on the phone call when I spoke to him before the show. He said, same as what you do, you do it because you can. He said, because I can. I do it. Like, simple as that. Like,
it's all right saying you can, but we're standing in front of a laptop talking a load of shit with a few cans. He's getting flights out to Kenya and fucking looking at signs and saying, "Look, take me there." And fucking going talking to folk.
Aye. Well, like, I mean, if we compare it
to helpful.
Aye. If we compare it like drinking and then drinking, he's canning.
Oh,
I mean, he's doing the can. I mean,
he's all over Reed. He's all over Reed. But I tell you, gone to uni to learn to be an audiologist or whatever it was. Fucking hell.
What did you say?
Modern day Jesus Christ.
What?
Shut up, Joe. Fuck's sake, man.
Fucking
so what, here, his biggest feat is listen to this shit for the past.
By the way, I'll tell you, there's not a more opportunist person. I know we're all pals now and all that. There's not a more opportunist person on this planet than Axon, man. An audience for Mark O'Neill, 2nd of January. Fucking hell, man.
Fucking get it. I said it was scheduled well before.
The cunt landed off his flight and fucking Paul John standing there with a fucking signature. Yeah. Stick your name on that. I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Do you know what? Here's the thing. I know we kind of decry a lot of those evenings with, but he's the one you'd kind of want to spend it even with.
Oh, Jason, just hold your laugh, Jason. Don't say nothing. Don't ruin the moment.
But now specifically.
No.
Right,
see, before he'd come back to Celtic, I wouldn't have spent $2 bob. But see now that he's been with us for 8 games and that, he'll have new material. I would go
did you see? I don't know if I shared it in ours. If I didn't, I'll share it on the Twitter later as well. Did you see the post-match press conference from the Hibs game? From like the Hibs press room. Have you seen that? No. So somebody recorded it and uploaded it. I don't know who it was, but so they're chatting away, and it's Cal Mac says pretty much a load of the same stuff he says, and so does Martin O'Neill. But there's a wee bit where he now he's got this wee stick where he makes a shitty joke and then kind of goes, "That was a joke." You know what I mean? But he does all that, and then he goes in one bit and he goes, and he says, "Aye, Martin, is there no a bit of you know, a bit gutted you won't be the final. And he's like, honestly, right now, no. He says, maybe when the final kicks off, I'll be gutted, maybe. But and then he has a wee silence, and he goes, but we beat Rangers, and that's always good. And I was like, oh, fucking magic, you know what I mean? He knows how to play the crowd, man.
Oh, that's the best part, Scott. He's coming back and it's like playing on no piano. He's like, oh, I can do this.
Yeah.
And I've got nothing to lose.
See everybody in that room, shit scared him. Nobody's taking a piss. Nobody's asking him fucking. They're all, yes, sir. I mean, did you hear the story?
He's still sharp as fuck.
What's the name of the wee guy after Radio Clyde, the Motherwell fan?
Richard Duncan.
Richard Duncan told a story today. He was saying, did you hear it, Joe? Did you hear it?
No, I didn't hear it, no.
So basically, he was waiting, and what game would it have been, Jabo?
Do you know I missed that? But I heard the
so it was a press conference anyway, right? And they're all standing there, they're all waiting Martin O'Neill. And Martin O'Neill opens it's at Lennoxtown, I think. And Martin O'Neill opens the door and he looks about the room and he goes, have you all got a cup of tea? And they're like, no, we don't get tea. And he's like, well, that's changing. And he pointed at Richard Duncan and went, young man, come with me. And Richard Duncan's like, the fuck, man, right? And he says he follows Martin O'Neill all the way up. No. He sends Richard Duncan round to get the tea order off everybody in the room. And he writes it all down. And Martin O'Neill leads him up. And fortunately enough, he finds like a lassie. And Richard Duncan gives the lassie the tea order. And sure enough, they bring tea and all that for all the media. And Richard Duncan's like, I was Martin O'Neill's tea boy for an afternoon. And it was just a brilliant thing. That, I mean, just a class.
Do you know what? See, like being in Martin O'Neill's position, right? So when he's at Celtic his first time, right, he's got a career in front of him, right? He's obviously got a career behind him as well, but he's making his way in management, right? And he's obviously a very, very clever guy, and he always was that kind of funny guy as well, but he was much more serious. I mean, let's face it, seeing the 8 games, he never was close to losing the rag at all in public. You know, everything he did was jovial. And maybe it's because everything went well, because he'd no reason to be angry, right? But everything about it was as if like he was like just loving it. Whereas before, he lost the rag plenty of times. You know, you look at that Juventus away game and stuff like that. You know, there was loads of games where because he was in the moment and that was his career, and he was basically, you know, furthering his career. Obviously, from a selfish point of view, he's wants Celtic to succeed because he becomes a better manager. I think anybody in that position is in the same boat. But see, this time was like, fuck it, I'll go and do it, and I'll enjoy myself while I'm doing it. And thankfully, it all worked out well. But it just seemed like it was just fucking in a jolly, just loving it.
See, to be honest, right, and I'm. This is just kind of, took a wee step back and look at it. It was so Martin O'Neill grew up a Sunderland fan, and Celtic as per Celtic was a side thing. I mean, like
he'd just have been a fitter player.
Yeah. But he was a fitter player, right? And Sunderland was his team. Right. And I dare say for the environment he came for, I believe him when he says his dad says, if Celtic come calling, go. And right. I do believe that, and he had this decent right. And then he came to Celtic after Leicester, and we were paying decent dough at the time, and we were looking to go places. And you had Henrik Larsson. I mean, we're talking about him leaving for the English, and I know his wife was no well and all that, but I think Henrik Larsson leaving. Do you remember he came out and he says, right, everybody get ready for the slow lane. I dare say that's the start of the end for Martin O'Neill as well. Do you know what I mean? I think Martin O'Neill was like, at that point, this is going to be great. Do you know what I mean? So, but Martin O'Neill then goes down to England and things are going well when he's at Villa, and then he gets his feet cut off him at Villa. And then he kind of goes through a spell where nothing's great again. He has his spell in Sunderland, where that's his club. And he has the spell, I think, Nottingham Forest, which is horrendous. He has a spell as Ireland manager, which is, it's got some monumental highs, beating Italy and stuff like that. But then the way that that I believe he actually found a bigger appreciation of his time at Celtic.
Oh,
You know what I
definitely.
mean? Exactly like you said. He's kind of. I think guys like Ange will probably go through that whole thing, but Martin O'Neill's going
100%.
that, and I think whilst he's up here and he's riding he will be riding the Celtic fucking money train in terms of these nights and getting paid to go around and tell the same story to folk and all that. I do believe. I mean, he was more active on talking about Celtic, and he's been watching the games and stuff like that. And I do think there is an appreciation, which totally leads in, and I agree 100%. It leads into you're 73-year-old and you can get back into this club. And he looked like, as you say, he just looked like he enjoyed it. I mean, I dare say he was nervous and all that. And he got the run of it, didn't he? The media weren't giving him any snash. We were never going to criticise him. He basically he got the run of the show. No, I mean, it was brilliant to watch.
Just a dream opportunity for him at the perfect time in his life where he thought something like that would never ever happen again. But see to your point as well. I mean, you say Ange, right? But there'd be hundreds of people, right? Hundreds that see when they look back in their career, they'll have wished they never left Celtic.
Yeah.
Because they've obviously loved it here, and look, things have been so good, but then the pound signs, right? You need to leave if you want to maximize. I dare say you say to Henrik Larsson, and Henrik Larsson's different because he went places and won things. But when he looks back in his career, I reckon he would probably say Celtic was his best time, his career. And even though winning the Champions League with Barcelona and winning the league with Man United, I think did he win an FA Cup or not? I can't mind, but he won the league with Man United, I'm sure. But if you actually say, where did you enjoy your best time playing football? I'm pretty sure he would say Celtic. Because when he was at Feyenoord, his career was going nowhere.
Yeah, he was getting back up the road, right?
Aye, he's came to Celtic and it's like just spring. And obviously you're playing with Barcelona at the pinnacle, but I bet you never anywhere near the laugh that he had when he played with Celtic. And like, you know, with I think everybody when they go to Celtic, they'll obviously leave for the money, but when it actually comes back to evaluate your career and where did you have the happiest times, I think a lot of it would be at Celtic.
I don't disagree, but as you say, we're all realistic enough. I mean, right, sorry, I was just reading something. No, we're all realistic enough that these guys, especially now, during Henrik's time, it's a totally different kettle of haddies because we were paying Henrik a decent wage.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
They were getting heavy go.
And the guys around him were all guys who could go and play in the fourth, fifth, maybe third best team in England. I mean, Chris Sutton. I know Chris Sutton failed at Chelsea, but that didn't make Chris Sutton's a Premier League winner. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, and by the way, that Celtic team was good enough to do a lot more in Europe than what we've done.
Yeah, that would be always my frustration. I think if you ever spoke to Martin O'Neill and asked him, without him kind of being overcritical, he would say the goalkeeper thing kind of done him, didn't it? Because he goes and gets a Fraser Forster-esque keeper.
Well, I always feel that the margins were quite finer than that, Scott. No.
Well, how so?
No, I would agree with Scott.
How so? I mean, a good goalkeeper earns you so much.
I suppose.
I mean, Rab Douglas was as basic as you get. I mean, the fact
he
that
was that basic. He was as good as he got.
See, as you say that, like I'm thinking about Seville and thinking like, you know, that the goalkeeper's frailties might have put the scurs into the defence, and therefore you wind up with a red card. The more you speak about it, the more I'm thinking like you're right. But I know I felt like, I mean, you're right. The margins on European success of that team, but you hit Juventus. I mean, that penalty in Juventus, things like that there, those small margins where things could have been very, very different.
Aye, definitely. It's
Totally. I mean, that Celtic team could have went head toe to toe with anybody.
anybody, yeah.
You know, and so that would have been a big disappointment for him, because he would have known that, and because that was the last time where we could compete money wise with the best, and we kind of were. You know, there wasn't many teams. Your Barcelona's and Real Madrid's fair enough, but there wasn't many teams in England. I mean, we had effectively a team that would have challenged the English Premier League.
I'll tell you, right, to kind of go off topic on the same topic, is it would be really interesting to go and see what we were spending in terms of European football. And it's mad how it coincided with Peter Law coming in and having his control and running the club the way he did. I mean, we were taught. So Brian Quinn, sorry, was the chairman.
Yeah.
And I think around that time, Dermot Desmond get his horns on us, didn't he?
No
And
long after it, but Brian
I
Quinn,
do wonder, was there any way that Celtic could have
continued to spend that kind of money.
Because ultimately we would have put ourselves in major debt, right? But should at that point then are we no looking to maximise our sponsorships, to maximise our retail, to maximise our advertising? Because I just always feel, I mean, I could be totally wrong, but see at that point, is there any way that we could have got better out with the pitch to keep the pitch at the level that we were at that point? Because like I say, right, we can never double question Martin O'Neill's reason for leaving, especially when his wife was no well, right? But there is the lingering feeling that Henrik Larsson leaves and everything kind of goes downhill. We can't get Bellamy. Bellamy will kind of come and loan, but he won't sign for us. You're replacing Henrik Larsson with Mo Kamara on loan. That I'm not saying it made it easy for him, but it worked. It worked for him. You know what I mean? I'm just going to go the new.
But like,
I do wonder if we kind of replaced Henrik with somebody who could have matched him in his best, that it changes the dynamics.
But sorry. No, but I kind of get what you're saying, right? But see your point. It's a very good point, right? Because we'd been brainwashed into saying, because Brian Quinn, I had a pint with him and Ginty McGinty's, and he actually said the way Celtic were spending money, it couldn't continue.
Yeah. See,
under Martin O'Neill, with the wages, because let's face it, we lost that full team apart from Petrov for nothing. Mm-hmm. You know, that team went for. But here's the point, right? See, if you were a forward-thinking club, I know what the fans would have fucking nearly burnt the stadium down, but we should have sold that team. See, straight after Seville, sell Henrik Larsson, you know, and like reinvested the money into the team, which would have been fucking mental to fans. But see, as long as the board were reinvesting it, but I get the stage that was roughly at the cusp where money was getting off the scale, mental. Mm-hmm. But to your point, Scott, see if we were competing in the Champions League and we were continuing to compete in a Champions League and we were continuing to reinvest. See if you were going deep in a Champions League every year, which sounds mental, right? But if you're playing in Scotland and you're going deep in a Champions League, you would attract the players. Yeah, you would be able to pay the wages. So, I mean, let's face it, Porto won the Champions League the following year. We done fuck all. You know, we the following year were we in the Europa League again the following year? Because we didn't win the league. We ended up knocking Barcelona at the Europa League the following year and get beat with Villarreal, didn't we?
Yeah,
year after Seville.
No. Year after Seville, we were in the Champions League because two teams get in.
Oh,
because the year after was in the Champions League where we played Munich. And
Oh,
then
was
we played Leon. Remember fucking Big Hingy punched the ball?
and Larson broke his leg.
Aye, because then we finished third in the group. We just missed out. No. That was fucking under John Barnes,
Oh,
Christ.
so it was. What am I
No,
talking
Leon. Remember with Leon, I think we could beat 3-2. Magnus Hedman went off, he's not. And then we were 2-2 and we were going through. And Big Bobo's come up and he's punched the ball.
So what year was it we beat Barcelona? Well,
That
we
was
knocked them
it.
out.
We came third in the group and we got Barcelona next round and we beat Barcelona. And then we were thinking, oh, we're going to win the Europa League. And then fucking we go a team called Villarreal, names had never heard of, and Riquelme just put us on our ass.
All right, so that was because we came third in the
Because
Champions
we came
League.
third by. Because we were qualifying for the group until Big Bobo.
So, but see, Barcelona was a knockout when we put them out.
Aye, I know, that was still in the Europa League. That was a year.
So Barcelona were in the Europa League.
Aye, that was the next round. So we get put in the Champions League. We played Barcelona. We beat Barcelona, and then we got Villarreal.
Right, got you. Aye, because I was at the Barcelona. I was at the Munich game as well. Fucking, so that was the following year, right? But that Porto team went on to win the Champions League. So as I say, we've all been brainwashed that Celtic couldn't continue to spend that money. But you can't spend the money when you're letting guys that's own fortunes run their contracts down and leave for nothing. You can spend the money if you're actually selling guys like Henrik Larsson for, at the time, maybe 10 million. Or your Chris Suttons, you're maybe getting 7-8 million, but you're reinvesting the money.
Devil's advocate, like the risk of selling Henrik Larsson for a price and trying to find somebody that's going to fill his shoes is fucking... That's a zero-sum game at the end of the day. Like,
it's I know we're kind of spitballing here and flinging shit.
We're flinging plenty of orangutan shade at the wall here.
Exactly. I mean, but what Jason's saying in theory is correct, right? If we had the same ideology as we have just now, then we could have probably made it work, because see, at that point, Porto and Benfica and all that, they were the first teams who were big clubs.
Selling teams for 100 million quid.
No, I know, but they were the big clubs who were selling and then flinging the money back into the Brazilian market and pulling these guys out of nowhere. The thing that's killing us the new is that everybody's everywhere. So, I mean... I know what you're saying, but at that point, I don't think mentally we were right, because we thought we were shooting for not dissimilar to what happened in February. I think we were all thinking we were shooting for the moon at that point, didn't we?
Do you not think, right? See, when that money was spent, like you mentioned Chris Suttons and your Alan Thompsons and whatever, right? When that money was spent, I think when the shark was jumped was when they spent 12 million on Torre Flo just to make sure they top the fucking spending tree. At that point, I think the shark got jumped in Scottish football and things started to kind of regress then, right? And we've spoken about this many times in terms of the kind of the spectrum of financial spending and I suppose resourcefulness when it comes to players. The pool that we're in is ever decreasing, right? But we don't really necessarily believe that that should be the case, because we're a very successful club, and with the resources that we have at hand when it comes to running a football club, you should be able to make further inroads and be better equipped to navigate this entire landscape or ecosystem of player transfers. And none of that seems to be in presence at all, which is really fucking wild to even comprehend.
But Joe, see, back to your point, the Henrik Larsson thing, you're like, what's the point of selling him and then trying to replace him? You've got one of the most valuable assets in European football, and you let him leave for nothing.
I didn't say what's the point. What I said was is that if you're going to sell him at that point, and you fail on the next guy, you're fucking done.
Yeah,
so, the risk far outweighs the fucking benefit.
No, right. So what do you do then? Just keep him and let him leave for nothing?
That's just apparently so.
Right, so that's what we did. So do you not think how mental that is now? See, when you actually think back on it, right? We've got, well, but even forever, right? See, for any general manager worth their salt, right? They've got a prize asset there, right? That all the bet. I mean, he went to Man United, right? They would have paid the money for him if it was a year before.
Yeah.
So the thing, they were hawking Kieran Tierney because then they realised, you know, you have to maximise on your assets. If you've got a guy that's going to go for a fortune, you have to sell him at the top of his value. And you need to reinvest it. If you don't reinvest it, it just falls to shit. But you need to get your scouting in the right line. But to let a guy like Henrik Larsson leave for nothing was mental.
I know, but the balance there, I suppose, is finding the balance between corporate agreements and also football progression is very fucking difficult.
But Joe, I think you're attacking this with an attitude of today, whereas see what Jason's saying, right? If you go and sell Henrik Larsson for so what year are we talking? 2003.
Well, 2003 was Seville, right?
World football record transfers.
You'd have got 10 million for him.
Right. So David Beckham went to Ronaldinho joined Barcelona. Right. So David Beckham joined.
Can we guess? 25 million.
25 million, right? Ronaldinho went to Barcelona for PSG for 30 million euros. Roy Mackay went to Bayern Munich, scored against us. He went for 19 million euro, right? So you
get 15 then.
I think you're kind of getting a right. So Chelsea bought Damien Duff off of Blackburn for 17 million, right? So at that point, exactly. So I don't think 15 million is madness, but Joe, see back then, if you're loaded with that in your hand, what that gives you is the ability to spend more wages. If you're going to reinvest that to the tune of 8 million, because 8 million is wild. Kaká went to AC Milan for 8.5 million euro.
Jesus.
So see at that point, the 8.5 million is getting you top level at that point, and your wages are going to. So what Jason said, I don't think the risk is as mental as you're making it to be. It's because see the risk now. The risk is wild because look at the Huns. 8 million gets you none. Right? That boy up forever.
Actually, nothing.
Gets you nothing. So ultimately,
inflation.
We're just fucking. But it's an interesting theory. You know what I mean? It says.
I mean, see, I always get back to the baseball analogy, right? See your top GMs worth their salt in baseball. They trade all their top players. No, the Yankees or the Dodgers. See the ones that've got all the money, right? They don't. But see your kind of lower level teams. See a top GM. They will trade the players at the top of their game and get 5 top prospects in.
Yeah.
And it builds their club for years. You know, they build a legacy. And see if you've got that trade, that track record that fans will trust you. I mean, you got loads of Gaffer. Let's face it, if Celtic had sold Henrik Larsson, fans would have been fucking. I mean, we just loved him. We just wanted to see him. But when you're actually in the cold light of day, if you're a businessman and you're running a club, but you want the best for that club, you're not talking about lining your own pockets with bonuses. You just want the best for that club. You need to make the tough decisions. And you need to get rid of guys when they're at their prime. It's different if you're Real Madrid. You don't. Barcelona, you don't. Man United, Liverpool or whatever. You can probably afford to. But the thing is, in that Premier League now, there is loads of teams that's got plenty of money. So they need to be clever as well. You know, it's not a bottomless pit. And you just need to, whatever market you're in. But the key for us is the Champions League. And if we could be competing in the Champions League on a regular basis, that money is guaranteed to come in, and that's the land of milk and honey for us. It means you're basically guaranteed to win your National League. But obviously, Rangers they're a new club, right? And new owners, and I think they'll probably get it right at some point. You know, with a fan base, etc. There's something will happen, but like, it's just you need people that's willing to make the right decisions, but the key is reinvesting it in the club, not just selling them to. I mean, Celtic sitting with 60, 70 million in the bank is just madness. It should be invested in the club, but in the right way. You know, whether that's in youth academies, bringing the best coaches in to coach kids. It should be spent, but should be spent to grow the club organically.
We all kind of, God, we're touching into all ground now. It's not about spending that money on fucking a million players. It is quite literally what happened this summer. Is kind of come round and bit them on the arse, because it's allowed people to kind of scratch the surface a wee bit and kind of go, why are we making the same mistake again? Why are we not prepared for this summer? Brendan Rodgers has got a huge part to play in what we're doing this summer, right? And we'll touch about it. There's no doubt about it, but he's not the only one. In my opinion, we've got such outdated ways of running the club.
Yeah.
And the frustration doesn't even come down to who's running the club or who owns the club. It's the fact that we're kind of going, this doesn't look like it's right. This doesn't look like it's got a long-term. You're not looking after us correctly here. This could be better. And they're telling us, go fuck yourself. I don't care. And that's when everybody's going, but, and they're going, fuck you. Don't care. Don't care what you say. You're wrong. I've done this for years. Go fuck yourself. And that's where the frustration, because see, Nicholson, everything I hear, Nicholson's an excellent lawyer. And I dare say over time might become a great CEO. But a good CEO isn't going to become a great CEO, or a normal CEO isn't going to become a good CEO by their gaffer micromanaging everything they do and not ceding power to them, which seems to be the fucking problem. We're in danger of falling behind football-wise because our football structure doesn't look correct.
Yeah.
And you're saying...
You look at every youth coach we've got, guys like Chris McCart and all that. It was at my school. What in the worldwide sense? What's he got to offer kids? You know, in a Scottish sense, if it was the coach with bloody short spawn accord or that, it'd be great. But we should be getting like top class youth coaches, paying them big money.
Yeah. To
come and coach our kids.
Right. So that this wee fucking corrective guy who kind of wants to. I actually offered him on the show, and he said no, he didn't want to come on the show because he can debate on Twitter, which is magic, because debating on Twitter is fucking howling. I mean, it's the worst place in the world to debate. I would have him on and we could have a chat if he was actually, but he didn't want to.
Who's this Scott?
So obviously we've got the collective, a guy called Seattle, I presume it's a guy, some faceless person come on called the CFC Corrective, and it's been having a go at me for
he's posted on that chat.
Yes, so that's what I'm saying. So he's put in here, Celtic got to a UEFA Cup final with a Duke and ran up debts and then with the share issue, right? So see that share issue he's talking about, he's bang on the button. It was what we done with these share issues is we ended up building Lennoxtown, and we talked up the fact. So obviously we've come out of the Martin O'Neill era, we've come out of the overspending, and we've decided, you know what? We need to improve our facilities, and we need to get a fucking barrel load of young guys coming out of this club. That's a great idea. I fucking commend you on that. Friday, the 28th of October 2005, you're correct. I agree with you 100%. Right? The first team has already seen the enormous benefit the country's most successful youthful programme, with players such as Wallace, Beattie, Maloney, Marshall, Lawson, McManus, McGeady and Kennedy already coming through with Memo on the pipeline. Love it. It's a great idea. We've no done it, guys. So where's the revisionism? Where is the step back and go, right, that was your plan in 2005, 20 years ago. See, in 20 years, what have we produced? Show me the working, and the same guys leading it up. Jason, you just spoke with them. Now, I am not going to sit here and criticise. Not going to sit here and criticise
Chris
McCart, right? And I'm not going to criticise. I'm not going to criticise because I don't honestly know. But in the cold light of day, I need to see how has it worked, where's the successes, where's the improvements. And right now, it doesn't look good enough. And I see what you're saying. We're only punters given a voice by ourselves. Right? Nobody's paying us to do it. We're paying to be on this show, and people like Sean, God bless him, a saint like Sean chooses to listen to us. But the fact is, we're criticising the club because in 2005, 20 years ago, we said this is what we're going to do, and the club have failed, and the club have not seek to fucking make it better. There's where a criticism starts.
Yeah,
I think that's fair.
And the thing is, we've won all these domestic trophies, right, which is great, and we've all lorded it up all the time, but we're playing in the fucking Farmers League with teams that's got fucking a 10 to their resource, right? And at the end of the day, it's all great to lord over it, right? And we've all enjoyed it, and I'm not denying the fact. But in this current day and age, you could get me in there to manage that team and I'd win the league some of these seasons. You know?
It's in terms of Celtic, right? The thing I've equated it with is, would we sack a manager for coming second? Right? If Celtic say Hearts win the league by 5 points after Nancy, would he be under? Right? I think he's a say he starts the season for us and we finish 5 points behind Hearts or Rangers. Is there a chance that they'll get sacked?
There is a chance, aye.
So there's a chance, right? So what does that mean? That means that Celtic expect the league title because we spend more money than anybody else. We spend more wages on everybody else. We've got more income. We've got more profit. So all these things are expected by the top level of Celtic. Yet they call just getting into Europe as a result of that a success.
Aye.
That doesn't correlate. Sure. That doesn't work. That doesn't go 2-2.
No. Aye, because it's the minimum they're expecting.
Exactly.
And the thing is, like, obviously, he's got his KPIs, right? So your manager's coming in with his KPIs. You need to win the league, right? But what are the board of directors? What's their KPIs? You know, what do they need to deliver? And it's all down to a balance sheet. Well, the balance sheet's going to be fucking seriously reduced now. Because obviously you can see what's happening in the club shops, you can see what's happening with the catering at Celtic Park, you can see, you know, this is definitely taking a hit. You look at that Celtic special range, right? And the full editions of every size is still available. Whereas see if Celtic were a progressive club that was actually delivering for the fans and the good communication between us and us and the board, etc. And they were basically living up to the ethos of what we believe Celtic should be, right? And say they didn't get things right, but if they were open and honest about it and they tried their best and they were trying things for left field and you could see they were trying things and things just don't work out in life as you expect it, I'm sure nobody would have a problem with it and everybody would still be buying into the brand because we would all believe in it and we were all in it together. But it's them and us. And they treat us like shit, and they treat us with disdain, and they actually fucking hate a proportion of our support. Do you know what I mean? So everybody's like, fuck yous. And it's a terrible, terrible place to be at the minute.
Mate, so, it's garbage, right? I mean, the AGM, right? So here's my thoughts on the AGM, right? Here's my thoughts on the AGM. In my opinion, the Peter Law and the board knew what was coming, right? 100% knew it was coming, and they had no intention of serving that out as a proper AGM. The snide digs, the mocking of people, right? Yes, they were harangued, they were booed, right? Maybe not becoming of a. But I ask you, have you ever been in AGM, Jason?
One.
Right. When was this? Ages ago.
It was Fergus McCann was still there.
Right. So I've been to 2 in my life, right? Boring, tedious things. And I said after the first one I wouldn't go back, and the second one I did, I was like, never going back. So I have spoke to people before this one, and I've said, what is the general line of questions? And they say the hardest questions generally come from the Celtic Trust. And everything they ask, I think's fair, right? But I understand people don't like the Celtic Trust, people don't like Jeanette, right? Fair. Okay, I think it's madness. However, we move on. And what I've been told is year on year, the questions vary from the catering. There's been questions about the question every year, why is there no hot water in the stands?
The main stand.
Right? No, forget the main stand, in the stands, in the north stand. Like, you might have it in your wee fancy bit, but we've not got it. And then another one, it says it's repeated year on year, is the holes in the car park. So, like, see the other night where it's bucking down, the car parks are midden, right? You get absolutely more dirty walking or the car park in the day, walking all the grass, right? So I keep hearing people telling me, well, see, the people, they're a disgrace. They should have just let the questions happen. They should, because people are just there. So I know I don't know for a fact, I know in second-hand information that people who go regular, that their questions come up every year. How can the same question be coming up every year and the club are doing nothing about it? Because, see, to me, if somebody at your EGM is saying, can we put hot water in, and year on year you're not doing it, that's fucking wrong. See, every year on year, somebody's saying to you, by the way, the car park out there is fucking rotten and you're doing nothing about it, that's fucking wrong. See, if somebody's telling you that the catering's overpriced and it's shit and you just keep it, you don't give a fuck what people are going to ask you. So the basic fact of the matter is, they sat there and they knew they were going to cancel that because they don't want to answer people's fucking questions, because they know the questions are going to be too tough. I can't believe we're in a situation where the people who run our club are scared to answer the questions because they don't have fucking answers. That's where we sit now.
Yeah.
They're not scared, Scott. That's a thing. They're not scared. No, they're entitled. They're entitled.
Oh, aye. But there must be. I mean, surely, from a human perspective, they must be fucking edgy. Definitely spooked.
Probably corporately spooked, whatever that might be.
Aye.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Aye. So Scott, see, we're going to obviously talk about Walford Nancy, right? Or do a bit of that. But obviously, before we do that, Joe mentioned about your video. And
you keep calling it my fucking.
Well, you spoke in the video and you sounded very much like Peter Law, to be honest with you. But aye, give a wee flavour, obviously, because we support the Celtic collective, Celtic fans collective. So there's a march going on, a walk, whatever you want to call it, from the home of Celtic, where Celtic were formed, St Mary's in the Carlton, up to Celtic Park on Sunday. So you want to give a wee.
I tell you, see the people who organised it by the people. I mean, us. See the people who proposed this. We need to get a fucking weatherman in the collective because we keep picking the fucking worst days to be storming out the fucking. I mean,
only the strong survive.
Why can we not pick a nice sunny day where we all turn up with fucking shorts on and all that? Know what I mean?
So obviously do that, and obviously the Green Brigade, which obviously a man in the chat, maybe not a big fan, but surely he's a fan of food bank collections. Well, nobody's a fan of food bank collections because they shouldn't exist, but unfortunately they exist. See, God bless the boys.
What we need is more people like Sean. We need more people like Sean in the world. That's what we need in the world. But no, so we've decided, right, so this had been planned for a wee while, and we've kind of put it in the back burner for whatever reason and stuff like that. I think it's a fairly good one, right? And I can't understand. I mean, some guy having a go at them because they're not going to the women's game, but they're doing a protest, right? So after, in my opinion, the disgraceful turn of events with Ross Desmond and how he spoke to people, it kind of accelerated this. So we're thinking about going. Well, the plan is we're all going to meet down at 1:15 down at St Mary's, down in the Carlton. As you say, rightly say, the birthplace of Celtic and stuff. And we're going to go down there. I don't know what the plan is yet. What we're going to do. I don't know if it's just a case of everybody's. The great hope is all signatories and all supporters clubs and all people who support the collective and kind of what it's a show of support for pushing for change. I mean, I will not go into a game. We all know how hard it is, and we all know how maybe futile this is, right? We all know that, but if you don't try, you'll do nothing. So we're all meeting up, and it's a show of support, and we're hoping that everybody comes along, and if you've got a banner, just even fucking, remember the ones you used to get the runabouts and all that, happy 40th Margaret, go and get your fucking bed sheet and write on it just your support for the collective or your anger against the club or whatever you think, and come along, right? So there's a wad of supporters clubs already signed up, and hopefully we get hundreds, hopefully we get thousands. It would be magnificent to show them that this isn't just daft wee fannies, as they keep calling us. I mean, this is people who genuinely care about the club and what's going to happen in the future, and that can't be wrong. People who just want the best. I mean, and obviously we've got a new manager, and we'll come to that in a second. So 1:15, and we're all going to march up to Celtic Park in a peaceful way, and hopefully we'll all show our banners, and we'll all get to the ground, and we'll go into the game, and we'll support our team as we do. Well, some as well. And as you rightly say, Jason, the GB, these absolutely horrible individuals, these terrible, terrible people who care nothing and they just want to wreck people and they want to be anti-establishment. Well, they've decided that food banks are stinking, and all the politicians in the board who basically caught in a long way around fucking caused them. Well, they kind of want to fight against poverty, and the GB have got their food bank drive, and if you could spare a wee couple of quid, stick your money in. If even better, if you could go and pick up some stuff for the show, UHT milk, stuff like that, stuff that's going to last a while. Yeah, non-perishables, stuff that's going to help your people, help the people who live in the same city as you who are struggling. Sean's just spoke about going to a different country and helping people. There's people in this country and all that are struggling and they need our help. We're doing our own wee thing. And Joe and Marty, Jason, you guys have spoken about it on here. The wee things that you don't think help, you wouldn't believe helps these people. So it's a great amalgamation of everything that makes Celtic fans good. And it's just showing support for the collective. It's showing them sitting having their dinner that we aren't happy. And you can't just keep slapping us down because we're still there. I wish I'd wrote something out to say, because I feel like I'm rambling here, but that's it. Basically, it's about what Celtic means to us, isn't it, guys?
Absolutely. And I would urge every Celtic fan that's gone, and it'll be a full house on Sunday, everybody will be going there, but just try and get in a wee bit earlier and make your way down to St Mary's. And you're talking, it's a 15-minute walk to the stadium, 15-20-minute walk.
Yeah.
And you
bring a wee umbrella.
Bring a wee umbrella or a hood or a can coat. Bring a can coat.
Can coat.
If you've got a can coat. I'll actually wear the can coat on Sunday.
Yeah, folks.
You know what? I'm going to I'm going to contact the collective now to change all their social media posts, and we'll add that at the bottom. Come 1:15, Jason will have his can coat on. So that means
Come
means
for the
if we've got
collective.
thousands,
Stay for the can coat.
Joe, that means if we've got thousands, Jason's got a can for everybody.
Do you know what?
12 cans was the maximum could get it.
The lows of the can coat.
Aye, but no, absolutely. And as I say, it's, to me, this is what Celtic's all about. And Celtic's all about the fans, you know. And whatever guys, I'm not in the Green Brigade, I'm not in the boys, I'm just a normal Celtic supporter. You're the same, Scott, you're the same, Joe. And I feel that strongly about the club, that what the Celtic collective is doing, it is uniting the fan base. And people can say it's driven by the ultras. And see, to be honest, a lot of it will be driven by the ultras, because they're the ones that are more passionate, and they're the ones that actually put the fucking
I think
groundwork in.
Passionate's the wrong term of view, I think. However, these are the guys who've got the get up and go in them, right? There is absolutely no doubt about it. I mean, without the guys, does it go? But we've always been supporters of them, and now being with them face to face and getting to know them and stuff like that, my respect for them is so high. I don't think they're wee Neds. I don't think they're wee fannies. I think they're intelligent people who care about the club. They make a lot of cunt to it, right? Without a fucking doubt. But generally, they're the first ones to put their hands up and go, aye, all right. But some of the stuff that's happened recently.
Oh, shocking. And by the way, I'm delighted to hear that, Scott. And obviously, you've been saying it for the past few weeks. I've known a lot of the boys in the Green Brigade for years, right? And a lot of them are pals of mine. But I've always known that, right? But it's good that somebody like yourself that had no interaction with them, really. You and all your pals were in your kind of bubble on your bus.
Yeah, 100%.
And you went to the games and you didn't really know them personally. And you get to know them, you realise, why, fuck, these guys are intelligent human beings. You know, and they just like supporting the club a kind of different way. And loads of it, I get the fact they have made a cunt to loads of things, but who hasn't in their life? You know? But, aye. So, good to hear, Scott. And as I say, I would never be a member of the Green Brigade. I would never be a member of the boys. It's just no something I want to do. It's not the way I support Celtic. I just go and sit, watch the game, sing the odd song, and cheer the team on. Right? So I'm an old fat.
You're too old anyway.
Aye. So I'm an old fat, but at the end of the day, when I was younger, aye, it was a different kind of era when I was younger, and a lot of the things we were involved in was probably a lot worse than what they were doing.
Moving on.
Moving swiftly on.
How's the Wealth Tones going?
The Wealth Tones. Right, let's go on to Wilfred. Celtic couldn't even spell his name right when the 5 times or something.
Wild man.
Oh, dearie me.
Did you watch the interview with Michael Nicholson?
Is there one?
See that?
No.
No, right. Michael Nixon, they released a Michael Nixon thing, right? And
he's
definitely lacking a certain bit of charisma, Joe. Yeah, you're right. But he goes, it pains to say his name about 15 or 20 times in an interview, right? And somebody pointed out to me, he's like, he was upstate. It really pains to kind of say his name, eh? And do you know what it reminded me of? Do you ever remember the Father Ted Christmas special where Father Ted was getting the golden cleric? Right? Do you know where I'm going with this, Joe? Right? And the new priest, the thief, the thief comes in, and he's like, they're guessing his name, and he doesn't know his name, and he's like trying not to say, and then she guesses it's Todd, and he's like, Todd, good old Todd, what you up to, Todd? Todd, Todd. That's exactly what it felt like today, right? We've made an arse his name, so I'm going to repeat his name continuously so that nobody thinks that I don't know his name. It was, I thought it was pretty funny today, do you know what I mean? But right, who's gone first?
Well,
Uh,
I can go if you want. Do you want to
Go
go?
for it,
Joe?
Jay.
go ahead, Jay.
Aye. So since it was kind of like maybe a couple of weeks ago, it seemed as if, obviously you weren't sure, but it seemed as if it was a kind of done deal. I kind of started listening to a load of stuff.
Yeah.
And started looking up quite a bit. No, the realms of Scott McCrory, delving into what you'll probably come up with a big list of what he's done and stuff like that. But just getting an opinion, Googling stuff and what folk are saying about him. And see, to be honest with you, the vast majority was really, really positive. And by all accounts, he seems to be at the wrong club, because when he was at Montreal, he basically left him because he had a big bust up with the board and stuff like that. So he's definitely his own man, and he kind of knows what he wants out of life, and he knows what he wants out of a football team. And I liked his interview when he says, "I'm not a manager, I'm a leader," and like everything that he said was really good, and he comes across as a proper cool cunt. You know, he comes across as the kind of guy, fucking I like this guy. And obviously I don't know him fucking personally or anything like that, but just as you're a player playing for a guy like that comes in, and he seems to have a wee bit of an aura about him. But having said all that, and obviously when he went to Columbus Crew, they are a kind of lower tier MLS team with a small budget, and he won them the league. And it was never envisaged that a team like them would have won the MLS. So, by all accounts, he's got a bit about him. And that doesn't happen by fluke, winning leagues. So, regardless of it's only the MLS would be, you reckon it would be in a standard, maybe probably better than the Scottish SPFL? I don't know. But
it's what I would say, you can keep your thought, because I'm only just jumping in to kind of say it's a stronger league in terms of everybody's muchness there, because of the typical way American football, American sport conducts itself. Yeah, exactly. So it's a stronger league, but we've got stronger teams than them. So crack on.
Aye. So I would agree with that. So he's won that. So he's got a bit of a pedigree. So my big issue is us as a board, like the club structure, and I don't have great faith on them per se, because it's always like the tried and tested, apart from Ange and Ronnie Dyler. Ronnie Dyler was a bit of a success, but no really. Ange was a big success, whether that was down to luck because it was Eddie Howe we were trying to get. So I don't know. But taking away the failings of the board that I've not got much confidence in them, I'm hopeful that this guy will be a good one, and he'll obviously get 100% back for myself and you guys and the wider Celtic support. But I'm pretty hopeful, and as I say, I'll fucking fall out of the gates of hell, as Mick McGuinness would say. But I like him. And
his vibe seems solid.
He seems a proper cool cunt, and
he doesn't seem like you get an impression of a person, right? And you go like, could this person be pushed over easily? Right? Could they? Could they be influenced badly easily? He comes across as a kind of guy that's like very resolute, very in himself, very confident, but not arrogant. I mean, like Rodgers was always confident, but he also had arrogance to him, which played well at times, but then becomes a bit distasteful. Right? This guy seems more
seems a bit like Ange.
A friendly, no, different to Ange. Different to Ange has more of a powerhouse confidence. This guy has more of a kind of friendly, I'm here to be with you. You're not here to do my job, right? I'm here to be with you. And he's spoken that way too. He said, like, I'm here to, like, we are that kind of thing. Whereas I thought Ange, obviously, those stories came through about Ange, sitting next to him on a plane, not speaking to you. That shit's weird to me. That's insane. That's a fucking normal human being sitting next to you. Fucking say hello to the cunt. Fucking sit next to him. I get something off Nancy that's more a bit of a, I don't know, a bit more fucking humanity, a bit more closeness, a bit more, personality, personal ability to it. And I hope that carries through in terms of what he can do in terms of team training and making that happen on the pitch. You're probably going to get the general kind of new manager bump, I'd say. But beyond that, we'll see how it goes. I do fear that they hire people like this guy knowing that he's going to focus entirely on making sure the team play well and not going to bother thinking about what happens elsewhere. And then 4 years down the line, his mind may drift to why things aren't going the way he thinks they should be going. And
4 years down the line, Joe.
Yeah,
right.
I'm being generous.
I'm being generous. 3. Maybe.
But the thing is, though, if he does what we hope he's going to do, he'll be off in 2 years. I mean,
yeah, I mean, listen, this is the world we're living in. I mean, we are the ping pong club of fucking football managers. I mean, sometimes they ping pong into higher leagues. Sometimes they ping pong back to fucking somewhere else. I mean, we're not keeping
ping pong club.
I mean, managers bounce in. They bounce on the Premier League or somewhere else.
Stop this! Stop it! It's rubbish. It's not good. It's not good.
Joe's analogies 101.
I mean, he's got a baptism. So sorry, Scott, for you.
No, crack on. No, you go. Go.
So he's come in like here's my thoughts, right? See, a lot of times when managers come in, the other manager's been boosted. So there's hardly a handover period because the other manager is fucked off in a huff. He's get sacked and he's like, fuck you, I'm not interested, I fucking hate they cunts, so I'm not going to give you any of my thoughts. Or the previous manager's been shit, you don't want really any of his thoughts because the players hate him, etc. He's kind of in a unique position that he's coming in with a manager that's left, that's a total legend, that loves the club, and he will be there for a sounding board. So I'm sure he's had a proper handover, and it's been like, get a full download from Martin O'Neill. What's his thoughts on the players? And obviously he'll make his own decision, right? But I think it's now he's in a bit of a unique position because this doesn't normally happen with football managers. That somebody's leaving midway through a season in amazing terms that was only in just to do a job for a certain period of time. The new guy comes in, the old guy is willing to give him every bit of advice and wisdom that he can give him, and the players are all on board with it because they're leaving. The previous manager's leaving. Everybody's in great spirits. We've clawed the differential back for Hearts. We've actually got ourselves back into a European position where we're competing in Europe. We've won the League Cup. Sorry, we're in the final of the League Cup. I swear to God, sorry. We're in the final of the League Cup, and everything there is sitting like ready for the new guy to come in. Mm-hmm. Do you think that it's kind of unique, isn't it? You don't really see this.
I think the only close thing that we have got is when Brendan Rodgers went to Leicester. I think that's the only close thing to what's happened here. Because you think about it, as you rightly say, any time we've ever lost a manager during the season, it's because they've been bumped and things are tragically wrong. Whereas Brendan left, it wasn't great, but he got us into a point where we'd already won the League Cup. Had we at that point? Aye, we'd already won the League Cup, and Neil Lennon kind of rode us in to complete it. Do you know what I mean? Going to Hearts that day was obviously big, but I think that's the closest you get. I don't think there's ever Well,
But
obviously,
Jink Rogers would have been there for Lennon.
no, I think so. I think Rogers wouldn't have been. He wouldn't have been distant with it. I could be again. I could be wrong. That's what I'm saying. That's the only similar, and even that's so far removed.
But the thing is, because Rogers is left and the board fucking hated him, so
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
you think they would have, right? So they'd have probably been like to Lenny, get him to fuck. You know, like I don't know how it went on, but maybe he would have had a good handle.
Like I say, but that's no my basic point is that's the closest. Nothing else in our history comes close to what has happened to now.
But I would even think no, just us. What other football teams has this happened with? It's a very rare situation. You know, where a team's top of the league, flying.
It's good to fling us at Jason during the show. Do you know what I mean? everybody loves it when we're all sitting here silent thinking. Well, that's your homework, gents. All right, we'll go away and try and find another. There must be one, because what was the name of that?
I can think Alex Ferguson.
Galatasaray. So
Alex Ferguson with Davy Moyes. That would have been kind of similar, right?
Right.
He would have.
What was the name of the guy who kept going back to Galatasaray? Fatih. Do you remember him?
Fatih Terim.
Fatih Terim, was it? Right. Fatih Terim. There must have been a point where, because, like, prove me wrong, he's 72 now, right? And he managed Galatasaray 1, 2, 3, 4 different times. And there must have been points where he came in. No, he didn't. He fucking didn't. That just he came in each time and fucking stayed for like 2 or 3 years. You know what I mean? So
what about Chris Wilder with Sheffield United?
What's he doing as well?
They've actually got to the stage now they can't have any other manager than him.
He's done so well as well.
He's won 3 in the bounce there. They get rid of him and then they realise fucking 5 weeks down the line, get him back. the player's just down tools when he leaves.
We made an arse of this again. But to get back to the point, right? So the blessed Jim Orr was on Axe on my day, and I watched it. I didn't watch it all, but I watched a bit of it. And Jim Orr's got a fantastic attribute that he can make all the madness. He can almost like just push through it and pull out something pertinent. And he says, see, the fact of the matter is, Hearts were top league, but Hearts aren't a good team. I thought Rangers were going to come back in it, but they've proved they're not a good team. And whilst right now we're not that great a team, we're still better than them. So, see, to be honest, as much as it all sounds risky for Nancy, he's got the best team in the league. So, unless Nancy goes in, and he still could do this, unless Nancy goes in and goes, right, lads, he does a Brian Clough and goes, get all your medals, fling them, all your pots and pans, fuck them in the bin, you'd won it by cheating. Unless he does that.
Get all your medals.
Fuck
them in the bin.
Unless he does that, you kind of went German at the end there, but unless he does that, then we should. I mean, this what an opportunity he's got. Think about that, right? Right. Roma will take care of itself. I think Sunday will take care of itself. But he's a weekend. Imagine he goes and leads Celtic to this League Cup a week down the line. Brilliant. Absolutely. What a way to go.
But here's the thing. He's not on tightrope. You're right. He's on a winning ticket, right? But if it goes south.
But what goes? So what lands on him, Joe?
You've been half glass, half empty, Joe.
No. I'm not being like that. I'm not trying to.
Right. I stress again to you, Joe. Right, to answer your point, I stress again.
I'm not saying.
Joe, silence. Silence. Right, Joe.
Right.
Unless he comes in and rips up everything. This squad of players, whilst weaker than it should be, weak at points. No, right. Kevin Gallagher's now saying Joe's being realistic, right? We all know that, right? None of us are sitting here saying, there's no way. But this doesn't fall on Nancy. Unless, as I say, he walks in and rips all up. This squad should be able to go and deal with two of these games out of the three.
I'm not saying it would be on him. I'm not saying it would be on him. What I'm saying is that it would just be the tone of his arrival would be a wee bit difficult, right? But I believe your sense. I do believe your sense. I do believe it's going to work out. I believe he's on a winning ticket.
I believe that we can win.
You have listened to his interview, right? And he said he won't be changing anything to start with.
Right, so there you go. Boom.
So he turned around and said it. So unless he's a blatant liar, he's turned around and says, I won't be changing much. But he says after a period, it will organically change into my team. But that's what you... If you're walking into a winning team, you need to be a fucking absolute lunatic to get in. I'm going to rip this up and start changing it. This team's now on the cusp of romping away with the league.
And as you guys have rightly said, right, and unless, again, he's the biggest liar in the world, he looks like a cool vibes guy. A bit like myself, Joe. You know, I'm a cool vibes guy. I'm the cool vibes guy. I'm the cool vibes guy of the collective.
You are. Definitely. You're the shaman.
The shaman.
Shaman. He's a good. Ebenezer good.
You know, that's how I was. I was going to move any mountain, but what do I know? But like I say, I mean, this isn't me being positive for positive sakes. Kevin Gallagher, 77, right? Ever since that cup final, Kevin, and then you knocked the Celtic back, I never really trusted you anyway. But but no, I understand.
A goal in the cup final, that was.
A beast to go. I'd have loved it. So I like Blackburn back in the day, and Kevin Gallagher was a big player for Blackburn as well, and Coventry and stuff. But anyway, back to the point. The Sunday, right? Sunday isn't a game to be nervous about. It really isn't, because even if it does go wrong for whatever reason, we've still got a match in the bag. Right, we've still got a game in hand. So Martin O'Neill's put us in a good position. We've got to trust it. Sunday is trusting the team. I don't think it's all the manager needs to do is come in, as I say, just be good vibes. Yeah, basically, see everything you've been doing, keep doing it. There's I've told his team talk. See everything you just been doing.
Listen, don't fuck me, right? Please don't fuck me.
Don't fuck me off. Joe's waiting for me to feel your kids. Right?
And by the way, right? These guys are playing for their future.
Exactly.
Right? This is the new gaffer that's in. They should be running through brick walls to impress him.
You know, don't run through brick walls. That's
right. But
that's not,
and don't get any hamstrings in. But it's like I see Gary and Cherry Simpson or whatever his name is. Says he's very confident for Sunday. Amar as well, big time. And I'm really confident, and like I think the guy will do well. And I know I'm Mr. Positive when it comes to Celtic. Well, I wasn't under Brendan Rodgers this season,
but that was realistic, I think.
I'm not a sort of shaman, as Joe would say. I would have said shaman, but shaman. I did kind of predict this clusterfuck that happened this season, but it wasn't through fucking any magical fucking powers that I've got. It was just like you could see Brendan Rodgers, but obviously not going to get near. But he's got an expiry period, I think, and he'd reached it.
We've never been through the antibiotic though of Martin O'Neill just soothing us into the North era, and I feel kind of like very comfortable with the whole transition period.
Bless you.
I feel very good about the whole transition period. I feel like you know what. Whether Celtic meant to or not, I think Martin O'Neill just came in and went, let me just calm everybody down. Like you're how long we're coming and going, everybody relax. It's all right, it's fine, relax. Relax. Kind of took care of the grief of fucking Rogers, and then stepped at the door, and now we've got Nancy coming in with the good vibes. And
But you're right, Joe. It's the perfect storm because Brendan Rodgers left, and these players were starting to doubt themselves. But I think deep down, a lot of them had chucked it under Brendan Rodgers. It got stale, and it just wasn't happening. And I don't think Sean made the point that did we think we would have won 7 out of 8 games? And no chance, not a chance. And far better players than the opposition on nearly every game, bar potentially Michelin. But I still think if Celtic, I think they same squad of players at the top of their confidence could have went to Michelin and won. Because I don't think they were that good a team. They were good, but we could have beat them.
No, the irony is, remember when we spoke about Michelin, and I was the guy who was kind of going, they were really good, we were shit. And you were going, no, I didn't think they were that good, and I was kind of sticking with it. Well, I ended up going 180 degrees. I just like arguing because on the way to Rotterdam, one of the boys were going, they were really good, and I'm going, hi, but we were shit.
I do that as well, to be fair.
I just like talking.
Aye. So, but see, the thing is, right, Matt, Brendan Rodgers left, they players are kind of all over the place, low in confidence, whatever. He's come back, he's just fucking built them up, tell everyone, and even tell fucking Nygren he wants him to be the 4th best Swedish player in history.
Do you know that? What did you, Joe, have you seen this? Aye.
I seen it, I actually didn't know who he was talking to. I thought Nygren was Danish.
So you were trying. You thought we'd get John.
I was going. Who the fuck's it? Who the fuck's is he talking to?
Is that Con Henry still there? Fuck's sake.
I was like, oh, that looks class. Who's he talking to? Neighbours?
Oh, my side's surfing that. Oh, Joe, you dick, man. You didn't. You're kidding on there. You didn't.
No, serious. I had the clue.
Oh,
who's he talking to?
You're something else.
Danish team, did they know?
Aye, we got with Nordjylland or something.
I had the clue. I was in my head going, who the fuck's Swedish?
It's just across the bridge.
Mate, that's tremendous. That's really good. Well done, Joe.
So
you've won this podcast tonight.
I love that, Scott. See, doing that, right? See, regardless whether you believe it or not. See if you tell the guys.
Yeah.
As I say, you're a manager, right? And this is, I'm getting back to the Brendan Rodgers stuff. We need better players. Then every cunt in that squad's going, is he talking about me? Is he talking about me? Fuck him. You know, Martin O'Neill's went in and installed confidence in the guys. So they guys now are on top of the world. They've went and beat Feyenoord and Rotterdam. Celtics, how many times have we won the Netherlands? So the last time was Martin O'Neill. We beat Ajax 2-1. Probably 3 times. I can't remember us winning there. Because all the games against Utrecht and all that, we get pumped. So I don't know if in our history.
Did we beat AZ or did they beat us under Ange?
I don't think we won over there.
No, we beat them here. I'm getting 1 each in my head or 1-0. We could beat them.
So very, in my memory, I can't remember us winning the Netherlands many times. So the guys are come back fit. And by the way, see, as much as I thought Feyenoord were very poor, 6 points behind PSV there.
I know.
You know, and PSV just went
PSV are out there.
The shite. So these players now are fucking buzzing, right?
Sorry, I'm going to. Fuck, that doesn't tell me. That tells. Right, crack on it. I'll find it for you.
Aye, but so these players are now buzzing. And they've got a new manager in, and he says he's not going to change much. So I can see that team. I can see us absolutely bloating Hearts on Sunday. And aye.
Chabo, you're back. You're back. I love it.
Oh, you're right. I feel this well. I feel this well.
We beat Go Ahead Eagles in 1965, 1-0 away. We beat. There you go. That's my waiting music. We beat Ajax, obviously, in 1982, 2-1.
2-1, George McCluskey.
Yeah.
Ajax 3-1.
God, it looks like it. Ajax 3-1 was the next, right? So then Ajax 3-1, right? And then you said, Jabo, a minute ago, where are we? We must be getting to it soon. Utrecht, we beat them.
So we beat Utrecht, did we?
They beat us 4-0.
Right.
Right?
I thought that.
And then I'm pretty sure we played. So then we played Ajax, we get beat 1-0. And then,
Yeah, because I've been to all the Ajax games.
And then we played Ajax again, the 2-2 game.
Yeah. I've been to all the Ajax games apart from the 82 game, and we've only won one of them.
But then we get beat 2-0 after final the other year, and then obviously the game just recently we won.
So only the third time in Celtic's history we've won the Netherlands.
By the way, we're away. No, we're at home. I thought we were away in Utrecht there. Right. Just with regards Nancy. So I'm not going to. I didn't want to overanalyze it. I didn't want to do a deep dive. I've listened to Hamish on Celtic, AM. I've listened to his stuff. He's ended up with a whole load of Columbus Crew fans. A lot of them contradict themselves the way they talk about him. A lot of them kind of. He certainly sounds like a proper coach. Do you know when you were trying to say who he kind of reminded you? I think he reminds me of everybody. He's got a wee bit of the David Brendan Rodgers about him, right? He's got a wee bit of the Ronnie Dyer about him. He's got a wee bit of the Ange about him. He's got all of them all mixed in. But I'm all for it. I mean, the guy, like,
I am as
you always say, he's your manager. He's your guy now. He'll get all my support.
Yep.
My worry is he needs backed in terms of Martin O'Neill's now come out and said that this team needs strengthened. And do I trust? I hope that these last 3 weeks that he's been his work permit. I hope he's been in talks, going, well, this guy here would really be good. This, especially, we're going to be losing however much Balak Wisher doesn't play. He's part of the squad. Tanetke, who's got a lot to see for the amount of good play he does, his end product is so disappointing.
I've had enough of him already.
I don't think it'll take a lot to get him into. I really don't, Jabo. But that's just me. And then Ian.
We also said the same about Yang. So
say that again.
We said the same about Yang.
I've saw a million more in him than I did in Yang.
Okay.
Already.
Me as well. And I don't think Yang will ever be a player for us. I think no. But what I would say is, what I was glad with Martin O'Neill, he was starting to bring Bernardo off the bench. So Bernardo's now starting to get a wee bit of a sniff. And maybe, because I think I've still got hope that Bernardo will be a top player for us. Don't know.
I like him in the same way you like him, but see right now, there's nothing to back up that faith.
What we're going to find out the weekend is, like, what team's this guy going to choose?
Celtic team, I think.
Do you know what I'd like to say about the team now, right?
Fucking
see your Colby Donovan. Do you know what?
Yes.
This might be a bold statement.
Oh, here we go.
I don't think he's far off Alistair Johnson class.
Joe.
Wrap it up, fuck.
I'm telling you.
I'm not going to disagree with you wholeheartedly. I'm going to say I can understand where you're coming from.
I disagree.
I
like him. I really like him. I think he's the future of your team. I think he's a great player. I really do. I think he's
I think he's got 30% more to go.
No, I put it this way: I had the AJ in before him. Right, I fully fit AJ and I fully fit Colby Donovan as AJ, but I don't think he's far off him.
Right.
And
well,
I'm
no.
no.
Hold on.
Put it this way: he's no an Anthony Ralston
Oh,
compared to Kieran
And those are kind of quite. Those posts are quite far apart there. I mean, he's not AJ and he's not Anthony Ralston. What is he then?
He's nearly AJ.
It's a fucking. It's quite a wide spectrum. I mean,
No, well, I've just told you he's no far off AJ.
it's quite a wide spectrum.
is he neck and neck? Is he nose to nose? Like, is he fucking? Is he a furlong away?
Well, you talking horse terms? Is it a mile you're talking about here? So
What washing machines? I don't fucking know.
right, so we're talking miles here, right? So it's a mile. So you've got 8 furlongs in a mile. I'd say he's about a furlong off AJ.
Right. Okay. That's not bad though.
That's all right.
You cover that in 3 months.
Aye, but what about an unladen swallow?
African or European, Scott?
Does it grab it by the husk?
Right, fucking, that's us done. We've jumped the
What
shark.
is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?
Oh, fuck's sake, right here. Listen,
And can it
That's
carry
it,
a coconut?
folks. Right, that's us. That's us done. We're not continuing this tobacco anymore. Thanks to Sean Walls, a fucking, as you say, Jason, modern day Jesus, amazing. What a guy.
Fuck that.
Vast soldier.
See man. Fuck us, he'll.
Ah,
Thanks a lot.
see you later.